Hello, happy Sunday. Haven't been live, I think, in like 2 days. Hello, I've missed everyone. I miss being on lives when I don't go live, but I needed a break and I've been planning the lives out. So, um, we're getting into some older cases, but nonetheless, yay, I'm catching another live. Yes, hello, happy Sunday. I hope you guys have had a great weekend. We are back with David. I'm just trying to make sure I realized the last live we had some lagging issues, so let me know, please. Hello. Um, we are back to covering David. I've been down the rabbit hole with this one, as you guys know. We're just doing daily updates. I haven't done a live in 2 days, so there's a lot to go through. We have some TMZ posts, some X posts, some Reddits. We have a ton of videos. On my list, I have the briefing of the evidence hearing. I don't know how much we'll get through today. I have a lot to say today. I do. So just so you are aware, let me get everything out of the way. Hello, I am Melly. We are going to be talking about the David case, just reviewing a plethora of things. So if you want a more, I guess, like a deep dive, this is just a hangout. So we're just going to hang out, go out and watch everything, have a good discussion. I am not a lawyer, I'm not a journalist, I'm not a medical examiner, I'm not any of those things. I'm just someone who loves true crime on YouTube. None of this is AI. It is all using other sources, copyright use, of course. We just have to get everything out of the way before we proceed. YouTube has changed a lot of their policies lately, so I am trying to get the Patreon together. I have been absent because of that. There's going to be a Patreon. I am working on doing members only and then the second channel as well. So that's why I decided to take a break for the 2 days to get all of that in order. But let's move on. I'll say hello to everyone and we can get started on the David case. And before I do get started on the David, I just want to say, I guess David is innocent until proven guilty, right? And I've been thinking about this case a lot. And it's like we're looking for content to talk about. So I'm always looking for David stuff. But what was I gonna say? Oh, I guess I've realized that perhaps, and I hate to say this, but it's just, I guess, the way the justice system works. I feel like we still have to go through that process, right? So as much as we all want justice for Celeste, and we can all agree to disagree whether the parents should be held accountable or not, because that is something I get a lot of shit on as well. Because people are like, what do you mean? Like, you're being too harsh against the parents. And it's like, well, one, I'm entitled to my own opinion, and that doesn't have to be yours. Two, it's just how I feel. Like, maybe it's my upbringing, maybe it's who I am, maybe it's what I have experienced in my life. Like, there's a plethora of reasons why I think parents should be held accountable, right? But I think in the true crime world, we've been fiending for that. We've been asking for that. And we want that. When we cover cases like Summer Wells, Sebastian Rogers, Emily Pike, whose murder still hasn't been, like, we want justice for the kids and the children, but then it's like, well, when you're open about it, then you get shit for it. So it's like, oh, well, I do think the parents should be held accountable. That doesn't mean that they should be bullied and harassed. No, I don't think that either. I just think that Celeste was a runaway for a long time. And I was a very rebellious teenager. And I guess everyone's different in the resources that they have accessible to them, right? But there's just a lot of stuff that I think behind why the parents should be held accountable. And that goes for David's as well. Doesn't mean I hate them. I don't know them. And I'm not like a lawyer or anything. I'm not here. I don't represent them. I don't have anything to do with them except covering the case for Celeste. So there's that. And then two, we do have fun. We do joke around here. That doesn't mean we're making fun of the crimes or what's going on. It just means we are having a discussion and we all know each other here. We like to have fun at my channel. So it is what it is. Anyways, Niall, shut up. I saw there's a lot of disclaimers. I've been reading a lot of comments. Oh, I love you, Vanjie. Thank you for being here. Just because I love you. Thank you for the super, and I love you too. You're always here supporting me. I saw Psycho, Abuelitas. I have to make dessert in a bit for the man's birthday tomorrow. Ooh, I love dessert. When was I think the 26th, right? And Abuelita, oh my gosh, 1 year. I love you, abuelita. Thank you for being my friend and being here and a member. But you're more my friend, so. Robert, I see Robert in here. First Liberties, hello, hello. I saw Crease and Lakeside. Okay, let's get started. So I want to read 3 TMZ articles first. Then we will go to the X. I've been digging deep in the X post. I found some creepy posts with David. You guys know I like Reddit because Reddit just posts randomly and it's so out of order that it's like whatever. I'm fine with it because it's day-to-day posting, and they have a lot. The Redditors on some of these cases they do an absolutely amazing job. So there's that. And then I have a lot of videos, really short, but I want to incorporate a video, and let me know what you guys think. And shout out to the replay viewers too. Like, I've been clipping stuff and I see you guys rewatching the lives and rewatching the stuff that I clip. I will be dropping some Mackenzie shorts tonight. I am working on dropping some body chem as well. There's a lot coming up. That's why I decided to take 2 days off just to get that stuff done. Celeste's parents were probably ill-equipped to deal with anything beyond basic needs. David Brooks' parents should comply with grand jury subpoenas. I agree, Lakeside. I didn't think there was. Hi, Hope Fear. Good to see you. I didn't think there was a lot on the parents, but I found an interview. If you guys notice, sometimes the chat's not available. It's because I've been copyrighted strike. Not like I'm in trouble, but just that they want you to either remove it or they're not allowing you to use it. I had one situation of that with David, and it was, I believe, I want to say it was off the his channel. So I think it was a music label, but I thought they weren't allowed to do that anymore if they dropped him. What are the policies on that? Because I do have a video today that I might show, but it's from his own channel. So I don't know. I might want to rethink that. Nonetheless, I don't know. I thought when they started demonetizing an artist, I thought that they took that away, but maybe not. I guess I have to look into the YouTube stuff. Hello, Adrian. Yeah. Okay, let's get started. We're gonna go through TMZ. This first article is Celeste's parents, which is why I started with this. Oh no, TMZ with all the ads. Okay, here we go. TMZ. Celeste Rivas' parents cleared in 2024 child neglect probe, April 30th. Celeste Rivas' parents were cleared over allegations of child neglect and abuse about a year before David allegedly murdered the 14-year-old runaway, but law enforcement found no wrongdoing, TMZ has learned. When Celeste went missing from her family home in Lake Elsinore, the Riverside County Sheriff's Office tells us it wasn't opened. Tell us it's opened an investigation that year on April 27th. That was a couple weeks after Celeste was reported missing for the second time. And here's that missing. I have questions about this, so we'll get to that later. It's unknown who called to complain, but 𝗠𝗲𝗃 tells TMZ the person expressed concern over a juvenile who had run away. We're told deputies responded and interviewed everyone who was at Celeste's home, but the investigation found no evidence of child neglect. I want to be empathetic because of the whole runaway thing, but like, your child being a runaway isn't, I guess it's not necessarily neglect, but hi, Mercedes. I also believe the parents should be held accountable. Yes, I agree with both of them. I guess, every runaway situation I'm sure is different. So I'll try to be mindful of that. Thing is, 𝗠𝗲𝗃 says deputies were unable to interview Celeste, who had not been located, and therefore were unable to determine if a crime had occurred. Celeste's family reported her missing in February and April of 2024. And according to prosecutors, deputies called David on February 17th after finding his number in Celeste's phone records. And he claimed he had last spoken to her February 13th or 14th, but also told deputies he didn't know she was a minor missing. Here he is paying someone off in Lake Elsinore or doing something. close to her home. Prosecutors say Celeste returned home to Lake Elsinore 2 days later and her parents took her phone. David allegedly got in contact with Celeste by driving to Lake Elsinore and paying one of her junior high classmates $1,000 to give her a phone he'd bought her. A little over a year, her parents were investigated and cleared for child neglect. Prosecutors say David ordered Celeste an Uber to drive her from her Lake Elsinore home to his home in Hollywood Hills on April 23rd, 2025. When she arrived at his home, he killed her. Prosecutors claim Celeste and David first met in 2022 when she was 11 years old. So there's that. I don't know. Hi, Lakeside. I guess they've been cleared, but things can always change, right? We'll see what happens with that. This next article is how Celeste ID was recovered from a remote area. We'll be talking more about this as well later, but we're just going to go through the TMZ articles first. Prosecutor, this was also dropped, I think, on the same day. Oh, no, this was May 1st, Friday. Prosecutors say David disposed Celeste Rivas's personal items in a remote area of Santa Barbara County after he murdered her in his Hollywood Hills home. Her identification was found off of a highway in the area described, and now we know how it was recovered. Caltrans tells TMZ a maintenance worker performing traffic control on SR 154 east of Painted Cave Road on January 7th, 2026, looked down in the brush and discovered Celeste's passport card. January 7th, 2026. So she was found in September of 2025 in the trunk. For a while, I guess they didn't find it, right? Since he dismembered her May 5th of 2025. I wonder if they found other stuff. That's about 100 miles northwest of Hollywood Hills in the a wooded mountainous region. I guess I'm interested in that because I think he went back to Santa Barbara twice, remember? He went back on was it the 8th? I'm looking at the report. Yeah. Oh, no. Yeah, May 8th, defendant returned to the same area in Santa Barbara County, leaving his home around 11:30. So then he went back, and then he went back again on the 31st. So May 8th, he dismembered on her on May 5th. My theory, and again, this is just commentary purposes. I'm not a lawyer. This is just opinion only. You don't have to listen to me. You're welcome to have your own opinion. But on May 8th, I think he went back and discarded of her fingertip or her fingers or the weapons. But then he goes back on May 31st again to Santa Barbara. So he goes on the night he kills her, April 23rd. He's not back until April 24th. Then goes and does a plethora of shows, promoting, etc. So what did he go dispose of then? Or what did he go do out there? And then May 5th, dismembers her, goes back out May 8th to the same area in Santa Barbara, and then goes back out again, returns on May 31st. So like 20 days in between. We've covered this, but it's just a timeline. So I'm wondering, they didn't find anything until January 2026. Right? According to this TMZ article. Yeah, January 7th, 2026. Did he get rid of her fingers out there? Okay, psycho. He was absolutely lying in wait. He lured her to talk to her and saving the relationship, then offed her in the first 10 minutes like a psycho. I swear I feel like they were having an argument in the garage when she got there, when she got dropped off. She was probably like, I'm about to be there. But But anyways, I mean, he went out to that area 3 times, so and that's the only thing they found. We're told Caltrans work reported the finding to his supervisor. Well, so far that we know of. We're told the Caltrans worker reported to finding the finding to his supervisor who contacted Highway Patrol. Caltrans said CHP came and collected Celeste's passport card, and then detectives from an unknown law enforcement agency returned on January 17th to interview the maintenance and his supervisor. LAPD was investigating Celeste's death, so it sounds like law enforcement agency. So that it sounds like that's the law enforcement agency mentioned. I guess I'm just, and we'll probably never know. Who knows? Actually, that's the thing is we don't know. Everything we've just been talking about is like our theories and what could be, right? We don't have all the evidence yet. He hasn't had his full day in court. I guess I'm just feeling a little, what's the word? It's like, okay, you know how the justice system works. So like what will be able to be brought into evidence, like I'm questioning that whole side of it. It's like, yeah, we want justice for Celeste. Yeah, it is clear here what he did. But then again, we don't know how they know that he was the one who chopped her up or dismembered her. We don't know, like what evidence is going to be able to be brought in court into the trial. Like it just feels, I guess I'm feeling a little like, I hope she gets justice, but you never know with these cases. In my opinion, this was his plan all along, premeditated. He lured her there to end her. It hurts my heart. I'm with you first. I can't do nothing at the moment. He kept her fingers as trophy. Didn't he show a picture holding her finger? We don't know if it was her finger, but yeah, he does a bunch of weird stuff like that. Hi, Debbie. And did he bring her body like on the 23rd when he stabbed her in the liver and killed her? Did he bring her body to Santa Barbara? Because remember, she was still not dismembered. She didn't get dismembered until May 5th. He went out and got rid of the chainsaws, but how was the passport found and not the chainsaws? I guess I have a lot of really weird questions. Celeste Rivas's dad never met David nor received money from him. So the family is saying that they never met him and that they never got paid off. There's a lot of controversy over that on the Reddits and stuff. Some people think that's total bullshit. They knew and someone in the family was paid off. Some people think that they were the ones, someone in the family introduced her to David. Some people think that they really had nothing to do with it, and that's fine. Anything in the indictment and charges shows is something the state knows they can prove. Exactly, right? So there's a lot of people that are out there supporting David. There's a lot of David fans, and there's actually an interview that was done with a lawyer who wants to be on David's case. I was going to review it in this live, but I'm going to do it tomorrow or later because there's 2 interviews I want to cover. And one of them is from a psychic. How are we feeling about this? Because if you guys don't know, 𝗠𝗲𝗹𝗆𝗆 did a piece on this case, like right when it happened. It was like a couple weeks after. So nothing was out yet. We didn't know anything. And her theory on the case is it actually is spot on. And she claims that there's obviously more people involved. And she claims that she went in the car the night that she was killed. For whatever reason, I can't remember. We'll have to review it. But that goes back to my question. What happened that night when he went out to Santa Barbara and then continuously kept going out? At some point, he did go out and get rid of evidence, clearly. But anyways, we're going to cover that. I think so. The family should not have allowed a child to go off with a random man until they claim they did not know. Well, remember we talked about Gus? Hi, Alsani. I had a strange dream with you in it. Really? What's going on? Because I had a strange dream too. Hi, Chucks. I'm glad you're here, love, catching alive. That kid was a sick person, but to me, all of this was premeditated. I don't see how he's going to explain it away. And are there others involved? I'm starting to really believe that there possibly was. And are they just not going to be charged? Are they going to get immunity? Like, what's going on? We don't know that yet. Thank you, Chucks, for gifting a membership. Yay, Mercedes got it. You're the best, Chucks. You always stay supporting. I appreciate you. And Mercedes got the membership, so someone who's always here. I love that. YouTube's stepping it up. They used to be horrible about that. Yeah, that's awesome. Hi, Knox. Good to see you, love. So I guess I just have a lot of questions on what, the body and then why he went back out to Santa Barbara two different times. We're gonna watch a video, 𝗍𝗍, he'd be staying on this. He's getting a lot of hate too, though, like saying like, oh, he's just a grifter and he wants to be involved in the case. And it's like, everyone chill out, smoke break, like whatever it is, chill out. I think we're just all really heavily involved in this case. That's why I'm like, okay, I need to step back and like we still have to go to trial, right? With David, see his trial, and there's a lot that could still happen. And sometimes people die while they're incarcerated. And not that I wish that upon David, but you never know, you never know. Because sometimes as I watch some of this content, I feel like he wanted to be caught sometimes. Today, we're going to watch a really old interview from 2022, like right around the time he met Celeste. And then we're going to watch one from the day after he killed her or even before he killed her. And he's completely different. Like, I feel like as I've been watching these interviews, I'm trying to go back to, yeah. So he met her in 2022. They started having sex in November of 2023, or it became something sexual in 2023. Let me go back to the timeline. January of 2022. Yeah, like you see something in him change. But let's read this article and then we'll get into all of that. Celeste Rivas' father says he never even met David, much less received any money from him, despite rumors floating around that the family's hometown that the singer was giving funds to the Rivas family. There's been online speculation, including on Reddit and Facebook, springing up around Lake Elsinore, California, located about 2 hours southeast of LA, that the disgraced singer murdered suspect gave money to the family. Jesus, Celeste's dad. Now, I don't know if that's her bio dad or her stepdad. Through his attorney, Patrick, I had never had any contact with this guy, and we have not received any money from him or anyone in the family. Oh, sorry for the ad. No, Timu. Do I believe him? Okay, yeah, maybe. Maybe, yeah, I do. But then at the same time, I think like, was someone else in the family knew David? Did someone else in the family know David? Remember the cousin? The cousin went to Build-A-Bear with them. Her certificate was in Celeste's property that was found at David's home. So the family knew of David. That's for sure. Amazon needs to change their policy about the items allegedly. Yeah, I'm horrified that you could buy a body bag on there. I highly doubted he waited 2 years, especially if she was already with Gustavo. Yeah, but Gustavo was assault, right? Like he raped her is what I thought. Either way, she was a child, so it's grape either way. I think it's her dad because she looks a lot like him. 𝗍𝗍 aligned himself with the abusive parents of Sebastian Rogers. That's why he's hated in the true crime, in my observation. I think 𝗍𝗍 does a great job. So shout out 𝗍𝗍. Thank you, hoodies. Good to see you. Yes. Please make sure you hit the like button. I forget to tell you guys that. I hate to ask you guys to do that, but we have to get out there in the world. Okay, let's go back to this. Osra reported the family was so devastated and exhausted after David's first court appearance in the murder case last week, they decided not to talk to the public or media. Now they're dealing with gossip about supposedly being paid off. According to the prosecutors, investigators claim the singer stabbed Rivas to death. Okay, we already know this. Prosecutors this week laid out their details, saying Celeste's family reported her missing in February and April of 2024. have a timeline, a very detailed day-by-day timeline. It would take us hours to go through this. So wait, let me see. February and April of 2024. A lease began for a contemporary home in the Bird Street neighborhood in Hollywood Hills. Burke was living there by his real estate manager. The lease was signed with Burke's manager, Josh Marshall. The house was rented for $14,000. Okay, so he was already in the house. Celeste, at age 13, is reported missing. She was reported missing on February 15th, 2024, according to the timeline I have, which matches basically what's TMZ saying here. Missing persons posters are distributed around the neighborhood. The Riverside County Sheriff's Department confirmed she was reported missing. And then they reach out to him on the 17th. So that's wild. How she just met him online and then it went to Discord and then it became a thing of hanging out physically. And him grooming her. You know, and I think that she was groomed easily because I think she was lacking for something in her life, you know? Like, I think whether it was a parental relationship, a father relationship, whatever it was, unpopular opinions can be valid. Hi, Chantal, we missed you. Okay, Psycho, we'll be here talking, so just listen. Thank you, Checks. I believe what has been spread about the family taking money is damage control on behalf of David Camp. All this is propaganda from his camp. They're going to drag this poor child. Yeah, and I'm trying to be really mindful of that too, because I'm getting really consumed in this. Like, I think I have watched enough David footage in the last 2 days for like a month. But yeah, you know how his team was saying that they were getting harassing emails too? Like, I'm starting to question all of that. I'm like, did you really? Were you really? Or are they just trying to paint David out to be, you know, her family has surely been investigated. Is that part of the 40 terabytes, maybe the parents' phones and stuff? I hope so. Like, if they're really cleared, I hope that they're cleared and that his family is cleared. But I don't think his family is cleared because remember, according to the document, Celeste visited London, Texas, and Las Vegas. And we'll touch on that in a little bit, but let's finish this. They say Celeste returned home 2 days after her parents took her phone. Prosecutors say David got back in contact with Celeste by paying a student in her class. Okay, yeah. We already know the rest of this. Continuous sexual abuse. Yes, we know that. Okay. So her family says, no, we got no money. Could it have been a cousin, an aunt, an uncle, something like that who maybe got paid off? Friends, we know the friends got paid off, which brings me to what did David's friends know? Thank you, Chantal, for being a member for 6 months. I really appreciate you. All of the members too. I might be doing the members only tomorrow, so I'll post it as soon as I do ahead of time. Her family has surely been investigated. Okay. Okay, let's see. Okay, his friends. Let's play this clip. Speaking of friends, I think that Neo got a deal. I think that maybe Asia got involved somehow. I think, yeah, Esmeralda. Esmeralda definitely knew. That's her cousin. Thank you, Amber. Amber says, I try not to cheat on Millie. Don't cheat. No, I know a lot of people are covering her. Maybe Esmeralda. Esmeralda knows. So I'm wondering if she was someone involved in the grand jury process. Okay, so this next video, speaking of his people, this is his bodyguard who knew Celeste and was talking to her in the Discord. So it's like a 1-minute clip. Let's watch it. We're just getting caught up on everything new that I have found in the last day.
Discord messages of you and David talking to the minor. Benz, I used to bodyguard for him, bro. I was bodyguarding for him in 2022.
He was bodyguarding for him in 2022. David's former bodyguard caught texting Celeste. His name is Marky. And on August 15th, 2022 at 9:35 p.m., he says, hey, Celeste, pretty girl. it is alleged David met her in January of 2022. So that aligns. Here's another screenshot. It says, Marky says, "Hey, Celeste, I miss you," on August 28th, 2022. Celeste says, "Hey, Marky, you did great." David says, "Facts, best bodyguard. He'd kill for me." Would he kill for you, David? Because now that comment means something to me. I've seen this before, but now I'm like, okay, he would kill for you. What else does Marky know, if anything at all? Let's go back.
I used to bodyguard for him, bro. I was bodyguarding, talking to the minor. Benz, I used to bodyguard for him, bro. I was bodyguarding for him in 2022. You and David talking to the minor. Benz, I used to bodyguard for him, bro.
Well, that assures everyone that he's been talking to a minor. Maybe that's who he got the second chainsaw for the guy and backed out. We haven't heard a lot about Marky, right? We know Neo got arrested because Neo didn't want to participate in the grand jury. Hi, 𝗲𝗍𝗍. Thank you, 𝗠𝗲𝗹𝗆𝗆𝗆. Really needs more likes. Yes, please hit the like button. Thank you for that, 𝗠𝗲𝗆. Definitely need more likes. He looks like it. Those adult men are gross to reaching out to this child. And that's why I titled it, "Was a Child, Celeste was a child and everyone knew the truth." Like, okay, fine. The parents, whatever. It might be debatable and it might not be what I want that they all get at the end of all of this. But everyone in their circle knew she was a minor. And you are still to report that. So I have a lot of problems with that. I really genuinely do. It's like, try to place yourself in that situation. Like for me, for example, if a teenage kid or a child hit me up, even a little boy, like I wouldn't just be like, oh, if he was like, oh, I want to come on your live stream or something like along those lines, I wouldn't even be involved. Like, do you see what I'm saying? When you put yourself in the position, it's like, well, what are you doing talking to a 10-year-old or an 11-year-old? And where are your parents? Like, question mark, question mark, question mark. Where's the parents? I would be like, okay, do you have a mom? Like, does your mom want to call me? Like, she on YouTube? Something, you know? I've always wondered why 2 chainsaws if he did it alone. The psychics on YouTube say that he didn't do it alone. Now, I don't know about that, but I don't know how you guys feel about the psychic situation. Okay, we've watched the clip of remember that disturbing clip where she says, "Oh, you shouldn't be talking about raping kids is bad." I found the full clip and I want to watch it. It's like about 2 minutes long. And it's rather interesting. So watching the full thing, because I think we only watched maybe a couple seconds of it. This is a Twitch clip. Let's watch this.
I personally don't.
He says, "I'm media trained."
I personally.
David says, "You're media trained." Celeste says, "I personally don't."
You don't.
I media trained you.
No, you didn't.
"I media trained you." Celeste says, "No, you didn't."
That's controversial.
It's controversial of kids.
It says it's controversial of raping kids.
Really good.
Okay,
It's been a good one. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Mwah, 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 mwah. Oh my! Delete everything. Delete everything. Everything goes. Pray for his career, chat.
Someone in the chat said, "Pray for his career," because they're like, you're like involved with minors.
Are we done? Are we?
We need to delete this.
Are we? Maz, can we delete all VODs? And then as soon as the stream ends, delete the stream too? Can we delete anything? You done for, bro? Y'all are not done? Now you're gonna Yo.
Look at Celeste. Like, I've been rewatching this nonstop. Look at how young she looks. I'm screaming as I rewatch this every time.
Your media
I personally don't.
Yo, I media trained you.
No, you didn't.
That's controversial.
It's controversial of kids.
Really good.
Okay,
It's been a good one. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Delete everything. Delete everything. Everything goes. Everything. Pray for his career chat. Are we done? Are we?
We need to delete this.
Are we? Maz, can we delete all VODs? And then as soon as the stream ends, delete the stream too? Can we delete anything?
Like, she's even acting like a child here. It blows my mind. Hi, Wavy. I wondered, oh yeah, I already read that. Why 2 chainsaws? When it comes to family and active trauma, I try to reserve my opinion. Yeah, I know. All people that was actively around them are more of a concern in my opinion. I think so. I think everyone on his team for sure. I think Nia helped but spoke out against David to help himself. I think Nia knew something. She wanted everyone to know she's a child. This conversation shows it was a big joke to both of them, but David was an adult, 4 years older than 14-year-old Celeste. No, this is Celeste in this video for sure.
You done for, bro? Y'all are not done? Now you gonna Yo, wait.
Oh, look at answer that one. That's so mean if you don't answer
Which one? It was good to have a big fan by me. Bro, thank you, 𝗠𝗲𝗹𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆
with him. Some videos I have from live stream showing Celeste January 11th to 2024. How did you find this VOD? Clipped it. He shouted me out. One time he called me because he's trying to delete that stream with his girlfriend. Some Discord messages from David's mods and fans talking about the deleted stream, because allegedly that did get deleted, but of course people have it. Deleted user says, I feel like D4 and Sunday would sound so good together. Someone says, I remember that, LOL. The mod says, they're talking about Epstein Island. David had to call me on how to delete the VOD. It's so funny. LMFAO. No clips found. Yeah, she just said something so crazy. He had to end the stream and delete it. I'm not defending David at all. He deserves what's coming. But the reason he said to delete the VOD was because Celeste said the F slur. You can look at my account. So they were joking about Epstein Island after that. That's disturbing. The only good thing that comes from this is she destroyed him from the grave. She's an angel now. You can tell she's such a child here. I know, we're going to replay it. 2 chainsaws could be if one failed, maybe different blades. Someone could have helped. I think someone knew, you guys. I'm still shocked he's so stupid. Because you guys, why leave a body in the car to be found? Come on now. That's a dumb mistake. We're glad he did that, or whoever, but because Celeste's body was found, but why would he kill her, try to hide it, dismember her, try to maybe incinerate her remains so nobody found out? Why would he just leave her in the trunk? That's why I feel like he had something, someone else knew something. I bet he was kicked out of school and that's why he was unhomeschooled. Yeah, homeschooled. Yeah, we're going to talk about that in a second because I have a clip. Joking about the island is sick. Exactly.
Controversial of.
Let me restart it.
I personally don't.
Yo, I media trained you.
No, you did.
That's controversial.
It's controversial of kids.
Really good.
Okay,
It's been a good one. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Mwah, 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 mwah. 𝗠𝗲𝗺𝗍𝗶𝗽𝗆. Delete everything. Delete everything. Everything goes. Pray for his career chat. Are we done? Are we?
We need to delete this.
Are we? Maz, can we delete all VODs? And then as soon as the stream ends, delete the stream too? Can we delete everything? You done for, bro? Y'all are not done? Now you gonna upstairs? Yo, wait.
Oh, look it. Answer that one. That's so mean if you don't answer
Which one? What's good, David? Big fan, mixed by me. Bro, thank you, 𝗠𝗲𝗹𝗆𝗶𝗽. Appreciate you.
I gotta stop with him if you even.
She says, I got a song with him, if you even care. She did have braces. Yeah, I believe she had braces when her body was found, right? That's how they were able to identify her, oral records, but I think she had braces. Yeah, it's disturbing. Hey, 𝗠𝗲𝗹𝗆𝗆𝗆. Okay, that was the full clip. There's this audio by Zav girl, and I don't know. It says Celeste apologizing to David. It's a conversation that was leaked, and it's from April. So apparently there was a conversation that was leaked, and it's Celeste. I'm assuming it's accurate. I've seen other people play it, but we'll see. It is a couple minutes long, and allegedly it was audio of Celeste and David's full convo. It's 2 minutes. I wanted to listen to this. Neo and David seem extremely close. He's a loser demon. Yes, Austin. Okay, Claudia, send it to me in my email. I heard this. You did? Okay, I hadn't heard this. I just recently heard this, like, I think yesterday. I was like, what? But I wanted to play the video of her talking in the graping video that we just saw, because I wanted to compare the voice. She has that accent, Celeste. And you hear it in this audio as well. Thank you, Chucks. Yes, please, you guys tap the like button. Yeah, I remember hoodies. Every time I hear this recording, it makes me cry. It's just sad where she says, like, why don't you hold my hand anymore? Yes, we played the clip of the smell in the bathroom. We can play it again today just to review. I posted a video. I clipped 3 of the most important parts of the last live, and it's now a video. But I do have that clip of the bathroom, so we can revisit that again, because as more stuff comes out, you know, we're connecting the dots and whatnot. And we're not investigators. No one ever claimed to be. We're just finding stuff on the internet. And there's a lot since David posted everything. Let me play this clip of the audio call that was linked.
I sound so stupid right now, but like I've been so selfish and I can't stop thinking about you and what I did and how it's affecting like everything. I just wanted to say I'm sorry. I really am sorry. I tried. You're special, David. I got a question.
What's the question?
Why don't you hold my hands anymore?
Oh, here we go again, bro.
Nah,
This is crazy if this is her. Every time I hear this recording, it makes me cry.
So serious.
Bro,
I'm so serious. Like,
all right, continue.
I haven't held your hand. Shoot.
Sorry.
Like, you're not funny. I swear you're not funny.
My fault. I'm done.
Alright, let me think.
About it, so the time.
It could have been yesterday.
Okay, yesterday. Wow, yeah. I'm glad you remember that. I'm glad.
Period.
Ew, I hate when you say period, man. All right. I got a question for you now.
Okay.
Why do you think we met? Yeah, why do you think we met?
where I think personally, have you ever heard of the invisible strength theory?
Oh yeah.
Exactly that. So basically, we met because we were supposed to meet.
Okay.
And we're connected because we're supposed to be connected. It's kind of like that. I loved you before I existed, and I love you even when I die.
Word.
Yes.
Okay.
But yeah, like it's weird. It's strange. It's unpredictable.
Yeah.
So don't leave me. Please.
You got it.
Okay.
You got it.
All right. I love you. I love you. You're the one calling my phone.
You've been there, been there, been there.
Calling me.
Been there, been there.
Please go away.
Been there.
Why are you calling me?
Been
Why
there,
are you calling me? Calling me. Say you're sorry, this. And then you want to go and change the narrative and say something completely different. You got to figure whatever you got going on. Figure that out.
That is, he was intentionally trying to destroy her soul. Is that really her? Yeah, allegedly he got the invisible string theory from her. It's very strange. She was just seeking love and acceptance too.
Baby. And then
that is very interesting.
You know what that sounds like, bro.
Let's watch the next. I'm like disturbed by that. Very disturbing. Although Celeste seems mature and grown for her age, that don't mean shit. Like, she was still a child as an adult, you know. So that really doesn't matter to me that she sounds a little bit older. Yeah, that was a Celeste song. Where was Child Protective Services? I'm wondering if that was created with AI. It kind of sounds like it, but who knows? Let's go over to the next clip. This is okay. I wanted to show a difference between, actually, let's watch this clip, and then we'll get into another article that I'm going to read. I can't remember if we watched this or not, but I want to stay caught up on Joe Scott Morgan.
This other shocking update, this big case we've been following, the David case. What happened today? Key detail just changed in 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez's death certificate. Her pregnancy status, 14 years old. You see, what was previously listed as N for pregnant is now marked U for unknown or undetermined. So we're talking maybe. This is according to documents that were obtained by TMZ, and the details are listed on an official amendment page that was added by the physician, the coroner.
You guys are saying she had abandonment issues. Yeah, I believe he seems so immature more than her. I think he had to do that on purpose. You know, he was an adult, and to be on the same mindset as a child, you have to go down to that level. You know what I mean? I can't imagine it. Like, I hang out with my nieces and my nephews, and those are the only kids I'm hanging out with. Unless like my friends have kids or something, you know, like that's a different thing. But like, you ain't gonna catch me doing a live stream with no 10-year-old boy or 11-year-old. It sucks because if she only knew that he was only a first crush to love you fine later in life. I don't think Celeste even knew what love was. It is alleged that she was abused by someone in the family. That is what one of the psychics has said. I don't know if that is referring to the whole Gus situation, but I can't wait to play that video for you guys. Maybe we should watch it today.
As part of the record. And this is a clear reversal. I want to talk about that in a minute. But remember, this document lists other changes, too. The cause of death is corrected from deferred to multiple penetrating injuries. The manner of death is updated from pending investigation to homicide. It also changes the injury date, hour, place, location to say unknown. The section stating describe how injury occurred now says with objects. And it is important to note, these kinds of changes are not unusual. The original certificate was completed in September after Celeste's body was found dismembered in the trunk of a car allegedly registered of David's Tesla. That's the allegation. And it was only earlier this month that the medical examiner's report was shared with all of us. But here's what we don't know: why that pregnancy status was changed, what evidence led to that reversal, and whether it has any impact on the timeline, the theory of the case. I have a lot of questions about this. I want to bring on Joseph Scott Morgan, forensic expert, certified.
Yeah, we'll watch a clip with his family, and you guys will see, too, how different he is. The homeschooling thing, I'm starting to think he wasn't homeschooled, and he maybe was expelled, ? He talks in some interviews we're going to review. I have like 6 interviews I want to review. He talks about being homeschooled and growing up in a very strict home. Some would even say abusive to some extent. He wasn't allowed to listen to anything but like Beethoven, that kind of stuff, I believe. So I really do have questions about that whole thing with being homeschooled and why he claims he doesn't have a social life. He says he was kept away. He realized he didn't have friends when he got homeschooled. And I'm wondering if maybe he was homeschooled because his parents noticed some kind of behavioral thing and they were like, let's just pull him out, before things get worse, or what was going on. But I also wonder how he got so involved with anime, because he says that he started watching anime at the age of 6. And I'm thinking, if your parents are that strict, you're not allowed to listen to rap music, but you're allowed to watch anime. Not all of it is violent and grotesque and sexual, but I feel like a lot of it is. So I have a lot of questions about the whole homeschooling, about concerning home life, but his parents are the ones who didn't want to testify at the grand jury. So,
death investigator from Jacksonville State University, host of the Body Bags podcast. Great to see you, my friend. You reviewed the amendment page of the death certificate with the pregnancy status. It's changed. How unusual is that? Why would that change happen? I mean, what does that signal to you?
Well, it's not unusual to have an amendment to a death certificate. And just to understand, when I say death certificate, this is actually, I guess we could call it an addenda to the actual death certificate. This is a listing. This is an amendment page that is now filed with the Department of Vital Records. And I know that seems very dry, but that's the way this goes about. Either way, the coroner ME has to John Hancock this thing, and we see his signature clearly demonstrated on this document. So that means that there were questions. Now, when you go back, Jesse, and you look at this autopsy report, and you go into the section that talks about Celeste's reproductive system, there is no indication.
I thought the same thing. I thought the same thing. I was just about to ask you that. There's nothing that says abnormalities that would indicate that she was pregnant. So what am I not? I'm not sure I understand what's going on here.
I might have a hint.
Please.
I'm not sure. So just so folks understand, when we do an autopsy on a female, we will do the dissection on the reproductive organs, vagina, uterus, this sort of thing. And so we're looking for changes that are relative to being consistent with pregnancy. You want to grossly observe if, in fact, there is a life growing within her, correct? They didn't see that, or at least they don't make note of that. Also, there are hormonal tests.
It is concerning his parents are fighting the grand jury subpoena despite its overwhelming evidence, because I think they have to. He definitely was coddled by his parents. I think I'm going to keep what I need to say to myself because people might say I'm
thinking right now of actually 𝗏𝗏𝗃 is the hormone that you're looking for. And given her advanced state of decomposition, that's not a possibility. Here's the hint. I think that maybe at some point in time, someone may have hinted at this. And this has put this ME on the trail of this relative to somebody that could have been in that circle, implying that maybe they heard that she had been pregnant. Now, that's not enough for a clinical diagnosis, but at least it's enough at this point in time, perhaps, to indicate that there's not enough physical evidence to demonstrate this, but yet you have this investigative information coming in that might indicate that.
I think she was so badly decomposed, they probably couldn't, they couldn't tell in her uterus if there was like tissue from being pregnant. He brought her home to meet his parents in Texas. I can't see the parents who he described being okay with this. Exactly. That's my whole thing is like, okay, wait, the parents who don't let him listen to Lady Gaga, but they're going to let him date a minor? And maybe it's possible. Maybe both sides of parents just thought there's no way to separate them, or stop either one of them. But there are, I think, ways.
Saying because there were alleged texts, this came out yesterday, alleged texts between Burke and Celeste about sex, pregnancy, abortion, Plan B. So that's the investigative component. That's why they can't rule it out. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, man, that's what I'm thinking right now. And if I'm not mistaken, you can correct me, but I think this document was actually stamped today, the 30th. And so when you look at this is something that's a recent manifestation. And again, it's another little piece to this very complicated case that goes to motive, right? You know, you're an attorney, you understand this, you know, that's kind of you don't have to prove motive, but it's kind of the explanation, the underpinning of this.
So to challenge you a little bit, I don't even know how I'm challenging you, but the way I'm thinking about it, if that were the case, they would have said it, right? I mean, if they're going to what are the special circumstances allegations in this case, what they're doing with the murder charge is in order to get life in prison without the possibility of parole or possibility of death penalty, even though there's a moratorium on executions in California, they're saying he lied in wait. He killed a witness. Why not add she was pregnant and he did not want that to become public? If they had that detail, I have to imagine they would have included that.
Okay, let's knock the tennis ball back and forth here for a second, because what I'm thinking was the coroner on the same page as the investigators? Is this information that has now come to them and they presented the coroner with it? You go in, you think about these texts, and that's kind of granular detail, right? And I got to tell you, Jesse, you know, just hearing what I've heard about the text so far, they seem rather inflammatory. And it could be enough to push somebody over the edge. You know, you're threatening him perhaps with a career, looking at jail time because of this underage element. There's a lot of texture to this. And so, you know, again, though, we come back to this idea, why did we not hear this from Jump Street? I'm kind of puzzled by this, because this is a big deal when you think about motive.
I think we didn't hear from Jump Street because there's other people involved. And we're still, you guys, that 9-page document, that was just a briefing. That was just a like, hey, here you go. Here is the legal document that says we are ready to proceed to the next step. And it was a lot of information in those 9 pages. Dismemberment is repulsive. It's very demonic. I believe she was pregnant. I do. Not maybe when she was schmurmered, but I believe she was pregnant at least in that last, maybe 2024. Maybe when they broke up. Because it is alleged that they broke up. Let me look at the document. No, was it November of 2024? Could maybe a pregnancy been the reason they broke up?
Motive, right? And so I'm just trying to understand why this wasn't brought to light sooner.
with about 30 seconds left, are you saying in maybe the next week or so, if we hear law enforcement, LAPD, the prosecutor's office pushing back on this pregnancy idea, that you're saying there might be a disconnect? Because whether there has been a disconnect between the LAPD and the prosecutor's office has been one of the central focuses of this case. So again, about 20 seconds, you're saying maybe be on the lookout for some commentary about this?
Yeah, perhaps third leg of the stool, the people that always forget about the other investigative agency in that, in this, and that's the coroner's office. And so, yeah, I mean, I'd keep my ear to the ground, keep my eye on the horizon, you know, whatever metaphor you want to use. Yeah, I would pay close attention. Remember, this big hearing has been pushed out now to late May.
Yeah, it got pushed out till May because of the amount of information. So yeah, they broke up. November of 2024, the defendant and the victim broke up, although they continued to communicate, and text messages suggest they also continued to have sexual relations. He had a lot of freedom with his parents in Texas. I think he's bullshitting that they were strict. I watched an interview where he claims that he hated the NY school system. Yeah, I'd like to know more about his childhood, which we will probably learn as we go through reviewing some interviews. There is a psychoanalysis that I want to review, but I think I'm going to review that tomorrow with a different interview. Maybe we'll review those two tomorrow. I want to review, there's a little mini documentary about his life, and then I want to, let's actually jump to this interview he did with Songwriter Universe. I know there's a clip of it that we're going to watch, but I wanted to go through because this is from April 25th, 2025. So this was 2 days after he allegedly killed Celeste. Allegedly. Yeah, I also believe she was pregnant, and I also believe he made her have an abortion, and there was something she had over his head. I do believe that. So this was 2 days after he killed her, allegedly. We are pleased to do this new Q&A interview with David. He tells us how he got started as an artist, how you can create professional recordings. I read that you were originally from Queens, New York, when you moved to Houston. When you were 13, how did you get started with music and writing songs? The way I got into music was very unorthodox. I was never very musically inclined my entire life. I didn't focus on music or have a passion for it. I was in a church choir when I was 7 or 8, and then my mom put me in piano lessons for about a week, and I quit after that. Then fast forward to when I was in Houston, and I was in the middle school band and played the flute in 7th grade. And after that, I got homeschooled. So I didn't really have any musicality after that. It was mostly just video games and doing schoolwork. So he got homeschooled 7th grade. I wonder if he started to become a rebel. Thank you, Evie, for your super. Appreciate you. Yes, make sure you guys are hitting the like. He has a mental disorder. I do agree with the mental disorder, but I think it's separate from his, well, it's not, because I think he's a little bit of a psychopath. It's like the wrong folks. Sounds like Elliot Rodger. Yeah, it does. We still have to finish his thing too. I have it up, but we haven't got to it. I wanted to be a streamer, to be a YouTuber, a content creator. I was playing a lot of video games, and I was making a lot of montages and putting them up on the internet in different places and platforms. I was using other artists' music in my little videos, but then I would get copyright strikes, so I wouldn't make money off of it. So I told my mom, I can't make any money off of what we do. And she said, make your own music for the videos. Let's jump to this interview where he talks about music, but before, I want you guys to see the difference. This was June 23rd of 2023, so he had already met Celeste. He met Celeste in January of 2022. But pay attention to how different he is. This is an interview he did while he was playing Fortnite. And look at how different he looks.
Where are these guys at, bro?
That's what I'm saying, bro. I got 9 kills. I'm trying to get 10. What's the 20?
He looks maybe a little bit younger, but he looks different to me. Is it just me?
And I'm a default skin too. Like, you letting somebody with no skin?
No skin get like whipping. Nah, bro. Okay. Bro, where are these guys? Come on, man.
The circle's still huge. Look like that.
His eyes is different. He looks a little bit younger. The aura he gives off in this video is not anything. Do you guys remember the video with the blood that I keep showing you guys, the petals video? How do you compare this Fortnite to that darkness? I'll play that in a second so we could see. I'm only going to play a little bit of this because it's not really like it's an all right interview, but it's not anything I think we need to listen to. There's other ones that are more revealing, but we'll watch a little bit of this.
There you go. I'm about to get a clip. I messed it up. I messed it up.
Oh, what's your favorite Fortnite clip that's on your YouTube channel?
Ooh, where did he go? Favorite Fortnite? No, bro. Nah, you actually distracted me, bro. You actually distracted me right now, bro. I can't move. I can't move. Hold on. I can't move. Wait, I can't move. Hold on.
This is where he allegedly met Celeste on Fortnite.
Yeah, I got Theo. Where did he go? I'm actually scared right now, bro.
Bro, you got this. You're him. You're him with me, bro.
Favorite Fortnite clip on YouTube? Probably no. Thank you. I'm him.
Oh, okay.
I'm him.
I never doubted you.
Anyway.
That shocked me, but I'm sorry. I doubted your game. I wasn't familiar with your game.
I wasn't familiar with the game. Favorite Fortnite clip? Probably. Oh, there's this one clip that I did that got me into one of the Fortnite teams that I was grinding for back in the day.
Oh.
There was these things.
I don't know about Fortnite.
It's called 1 minute or 1 clip montages where you would build in creative and then you would edit it so seamlessly to where everything looked like 1 clip.
Oh.
And I did it and it got 25,000 views on Twitter. And then boom, I got 5,000 subscribers on YouTube after that. Yeah, that was my blow up clip.
Damn. Was it difficult to edit just to make it so seamless?
Oh yeah, because you have to do the same moves in every clip.
Okay, so you see him here interacting, right? Now let's go to this video. And I could be because it's a video for promo, but I'm
universally regarded as a symbol of purity, loyalty, and romance. But that's not the reason I took a liking to it. You see, when a human being is drained of all of its blood, it becomes pale, lifeless, just as the rose, visually appealing, only good to observe and admire. But the moment you go to pick it up, you get stabbed. But I, or should I say a separate part of me, indulges himself in the thorns, dousing himself in the blood of his own negligence without even vetting the misleading beauty. Wearing a blindfold only to escape his self-made hell, accountable.
He doesn't look like the same person, right? We're gonna watch an interview
accountable only to pain
in a minute, but I don't get the same.
Self-made hell, accountable only to pain. I have placed this part of me throughout this project in different areas of melody, lyrics, and delivery. You'll feel it when you get there. Follow me now through this journey of holding a rose petal by petal until they fall short. And I have no choice but to catch it by the thorns.
Isn't that that video will always get me. I know you guys are probably sick of it because I play it in every David live. The darkness in that video blows my mind. Let's revisit this interview. I know we watched a little bit of it, but I want to watch a little more. This was 5 days after he dismembered Celeste. 5 days. Homeschool doesn't mean you mess up. That's the BS. He's spitting for people to believe that. He has no social skills or identity. I believe he wasn't. I don't think he was a person he makes it out to be like, oh, so cool. I think he was a dark, creepy child. I had not seen this one video. Yeah, it's crazy. He was homeschooled and that is what messed him up. I think that he was going through some stuff. I do. One more before we get to the X posts. I want to watch this interview.
This is romantic.
Like, he does not look the same compared to that Fortnite video.
The homicide. The story behind that one, year and a half. That's nuts. The story behind that one, this is right off the back of me releasing all the songs for the Fortnite montages. I gained quite a bit of popularity on the internet at this point. I had about 500,000 TikTok followers at that point, and like maybe 50,000 on Instagram or something like that. I had just got fired from my job too. I was working at Starbucks for a little bit, and yeah, funny story about that. I was working at Starbucks for a little bit, and I had this discount code that my manager gave me, and she was like, every time you a little short on cash or whatever, you want to take a little $3 off your meal for lunch, just do it. Take this code. It was like 0578. If you still work there, that's the discount code. If you still got it. And she was like, yeah, just use it whenever you want. Like whenever you have lunch, just use the code, no problem. I was like, bet. So I used it for like maybe 3 weeks straight. I used the code maybe like a couple of times. It wasn't even that many times. And I would train people. Like when we had new hires, I would train them too. I'd be like, yo, so the manager was like, if you ever short on cash, just use this code. Like you're totally good. You're an employee. You work here. This employee discount. You got it. And they're like, okay, cool. We all using it. It's like 8 of us using it. And then fast forward to 3 weeks later, manager comes.
Definitely looks older, just so dark.
And she's like, yo, the big boss want to talk to you upstairs. I'm like, what did I do? She's like, I don't know, but make sure you have your union representative with you because they're going to try to pull some crazy stuff. I was like, what did I do? Like, what do I need that for? And she was like, just go upstairs real quick. I was like, okay. I didn't call my union rep because I know I didn't do nothing wrong. So I'm like, I'm good off that because I don't need to make an unnecessary scene. I go upstairs. Homeboy's sitting at the counter like this, like an evil villain with his jaw clenched up and everything, hands on the table, bro, looking mad serious. I'm like, okay. I sit down in the chair. He's like, you know, you've been committing a felony.
I think this interview happened in between when he killed her allegedly and dismembered her. That is my theory. Could have been posted on May 10th, 2025, which would be 5 days after he dismembered her, but it was recorded a little bit earlier than that, I think.
He's at this store for over 3 weeks. I'm like, felonies? What felonies I commit? I was like, okay, show me the proof, right? He's like, okay. He opens his drawer. He pulls out this gigantic scroll. And there's like 3 dots at the top. Like this, I swear, it's like the dragon scroll from Kung-Fu Panda, bro. And there's like 3 lines at the top. And I see a total, it said $14.26. I'm like, what's this? He's like, these are all the sandwiches that you stole from us in the past 3 weeks. I'm like, first of all, I ain't steal no sandwiches. What are you talking about? And then he pulls up his stupid self. Bro, he not stupid, but like he pretty dumb for that, bro. I'm not gonna lie. He pulls up the camera footage. Putting in the code. Every single time I use the code, bro, he pulls up the camera footage and me putting in the code. And I'm like, okay, what's wrong with me putting in the discount code? Don't I work here? And he's like, no, you're not supposed to use that code. I'm like, okay, well, the manager said I can use the code. I'm an employee here. I can use the discount code if I want to. What's the problem? He's like, nah, that's a felony. You've been stealing the sandwiches. Nobody told you to use that code. If you don't have authorization for me, myself, you're not supposed to use the code. I'm like, so what happens now? Like, I'll pay you back. It's $14. Just take it out of my paycheck real quick. That's like, as easy as that. Tell me not to use it again. Take it out of my next paycheck. We Gucci. He's like, nah, I can't let that slide. Literally in his words, I can't let that slide. I'm like, so what you want to do? And he was like, we can either fire you right now and it goes on your record, or you can resign and it doesn't go on your record. I'm like, you about to fire me over $14? How much is that in pounds? Like
12 quid? You know what I'm saying? Like, just, bro, it's a multi-million-dollar company. What you talking about $14 for? I'm like, all right, I'm gonna resign right now. I'm gonna call my mom. Mind you, I just got picked up because this is a morning shift. I just got dropped off to work. I call my mom. I'm like, yo,
yeah, I think Lake said you're right. He's describing this as a victim situation. David Burke stole so much from the restaurant where he worked, where he was fired, but he's making excuses. I believe it.
oh, I need you to come pick me up, mom. She's like, boy, what you do? Boy, what happened? She already screaming at me. She already think I'm doing something wrong already. I'm like, no, I'm gonna tell you when you get. I'm gonna tell you when you get here. So she come back, she pull up, and she stays there. And you want to talk to the man. I'm like, yo, you don't got to talk to nobody. Let's just go home. You don't got to talk to nobody about nothing. Let's just go home. So we just go home. And then I get a text from my coworkers and all that from the shift. And they get fired too. I'm like, yo, they really doing a mass firing over $14 worth of sandwiches, bro. And like, I swear to you, they're understaffed and they were underpaying us too, bro. Like, I signed up because I was in the middle of doing homeschooling and all this kind of stuff, plus the music, plus TikTok, plus Fortnite. And I signed up for part-time hours and they gave me full-time shifts. So I was working 5 to 9, and some days 9 to 5, and then some days I close, I do 5 to 10. So it was like the whole situation was just crazy, bro. And I was like, you know what? It's a blessing in disguise because that means I get more.
It blows my mind envisioning him with Celeste. I'm just like, what the hell?
More time to work on music, which I'm already about to make money on, you know what I'm saying? So I'm about to make money on music. I really don't need this job right now. I really just focus on Fortnite, focus on music. So I go home and the next song I make is, I think, Take Me to the Sun. Take Me to the Sun. I made that song. I put that in the montage. It blows up crazy on SoundCloud. I'm like, oh, that was a sign for sure. I needed to lose that job. So then I'm working on the craft a little more. I decided to hop on TikTok and do something a little different because I was like, the music thing's kind of being stagnant right now. Let me see if I could, because where I'm from, like in the internet culture, I really like memes and making people laugh real. So like in my Fortnite montage, I throw a little meme in there every once in a while, make people laugh. So I decided to do covers. I decided to do Fortnite, like chipmunk covers. So the first cover I did was Beyonce, I think it was Blue Ivy or something like that, Ivy Blue, whatever that song is called. And I pitched up my voice so high that I sounded like a chipmunk. And it went crazy overnight. It got like 1.5 million views overnight. I was like, bet, we doing memes now. So I kept doing that for like maybe a few weeks. I'll even pull it up too, just so y'all can have some reference. Like, and putting like the Alvin and Chipmunks over it, and it has like 2.5 million views. And I did that for like months straight. And I
don't know if I believe anything he's saying.
At the time I had maybe 500,000 followers. I was like, okay, bet it's time to do a little switch up. So I had made this song called Here With Me. I was watching the Disney movie Up, and I got really inspired by Carl and Ellie's kind of relationship and their story, and how Ellie dies and Carl has to go to Paradise Falls by himself. I got inspired by that, and I was like, okay, what if I wrote about their relationship, but Ellie stayed alive? And I went to the closet. I was like thinking about Carl and Ellie, and I was like, all right, bet I got to think about a relationship as a really old dude. And
yeah, I know some people say he was bullied and that's why he was maybe pulled into homeschool, but he talks in an interview we're going to review. I don't know if it's one of the ones today or tomorrow, but he talks about how he had no friends and he was in a dark place and he had no social interaction. And that does, I think, delay you developmentally to some extent.
A really old grandma kind of, which
doesn't take from the fact that he's a predator, because he did continuously go onto Fortnite, talk to kids, which, okay, fine. There's probably a lot of them online still. That doesn't make it okay, but he continued to pursue Celeste. As it said in that document, he paid someone $1,000 to give the victim a cell phone that the defendant purchased so that they could stay in contact, is what the document says.
And relationship. And I made this really beautiful ballad called Here With Me. And I kept it in the vault. I was like, okay, this is really, really good. Like, this is one of my best songs. But I had anxiety and I didn't want to put it out because everything I was putting, I was like really sad and stuff like that. So I went back to the closet and I tried to get like in a really, really sad vibe mood. I found another beat on YouTube by this dude named Dan Darmawan, super random. Sound like the instrumental just kind of called to me, kind of just spoke to me. And I went to the closet again,
sat down and I freestyled the entirety of Romantic Homicide in one take. And it was like the first time I really did that. And then after I made that song, I showed it to my mother. And she was like, that song's too violent and too sad. You're not releasing it. My son is not going to be talking about killing people in music.
Killing people in music. But then she was okay with it? Because I think he was, yeah, you're right. Somebody in the chat said he's obsessed with death. Yes, Mary. He's obsessed with death and himself. But if your mom, so then she allowed it, or after the fact? After he became famous, she just no longer cared, huh?
After I made that song, I showed it to my mother. And she was like, that song's too violent and too sad. You're not releasing it. My son is not going to be talking about killing people in music. And I was like, I'm going to take that as a challenge, low-key, because like every time that she doesn't approve of something like that's art and stuff like that, it usually is a sign that I'm supposed to do it, low-key. So I waited a couple of days. I was kind of contemplating because like if she ever found a song online and it didn't blow up, I'm getting my butt beat that same day. So I had to make sure that it was going to do well. So I posted it on TikTok, but I promoted it as Alvin and the Chipmunks. That was my whole gimmick. So I pitched up the audio super high, sped it up a lot. And I was like, Alvin and the Chipmunks are releasing original music, ? And that was the key. It blew up. I posted it Here With Me with the same thing the next day. And they were both doing numbers at the same time. So I was like, okay, bet.
He had to have known he was going to get caught, you guys. Again, why would he leave the body in the car where obviously the car would be found? Because really, did he think that nobody was going to find the Tesla or wasn't going to get towed? Like it was just going to sit there forever? You know what I mean? Like, why leave it? I don't think he likes women. I agree with that comment, Ruth. I get that vibe. People shouldn't even blame the parents for his actions. He made his decisions. I agree with that, 𝗠𝗲𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, but I also agree with, I think there's such thing as enabling. He was overconfident. Okay, but you guys, he went back. Listen, he went to Santa Barbara the night that he stabbed her, allegedly, and she bled out. He went back on the 8th, 3 days after he dismembered her, and went back on the 31st. He had ample time and space to get rid of her body. Not that I'm saying I wish he would have. I'm not. I'm glad that they found her body, and I'm glad that he's locked up. But I'm just saying, why would he leave her in the car and not throw the body in the water, bury her where he buried the chainsaws? Where's the chainsaws? Where's her fingers? They only found her passport. There's so much more here going on. It seems like he mimicked what made 𝗠𝗲𝗹𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆 I agree with that. Hoodie's Tentación was very unique. The smell on a hot day too. In California, listen, it's raining here today. The weather's so out of control. I think like a day or two ago, it was like 90 degrees and that was hot. Agreed. He wanted penance. He wanted the attention. He wanted her to be found. Did he maybe just want to die? To be caught and just die? Like, was he suicidal? I'm wondering. You know, like, is that the end all be all of the climax of the D4vd story? He ends up wanting death for himself, like he portrays it in the videos. Yeah, and if there isn't a trial, we may never know. That part, agree, that part. I still think he wanted to get caught. It's the ultimate clout and visibility, and he's obsessed with death, so he kept her. That was his fault. He couldn't lose her. Why not eat her? He wanted her to be found on her birthday as maybe, and I don't mean that like disrespectfully, but I believe whatever he was into, some dark stuff, because a part of me believes it could be very cult-like behavior. Because I think someone else was supposed to have to move the cart because he was on tour. And the person did not do it. Maybe someone got scared. Profile said he probably planned to dump the body, but it got towed before he could. I think he did. I think the body was in the house. I even think he had her in the bathroom for some reason. I don't know. That could just be like a dream I had or something. No, it's from a post that I'm going to show you in a second. That's where it's from. I think that between May 5th, the 8th, and the 31st, when he went back, I think he tried to dispose of the body to some extent. But why did he fail? Question mark, question mark.
I gotta release this quick. I throw it up on DistroKid. I wait for the submission to go through. It goes up on all platforms. And then I'm just watching the numbers just pop, bro. Like 2 songs at the same time. Here With Me and Romantic Homicide are going absolutely mental. And I'm like, all right, so how do I capitalize on this? So I tell my mom that I dropped the song. Is she gonna get mad at me? What's gonna happen? Da 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 da. I'll wait a little bit longer. I get the first email from the labels. I showed them. I'm like, all right, my mom has to hear about this now. I was like, there's no way I can like sweep this under the rug. I'm getting really famous right now. So I show her the email, and then the instantaneous like mother thought is that's a scam. Like, you're not going to LA and meeting any label. Like, what are you doing? I was like, I showed her the numbers though. I was like, yo, the song has 100,000 plays. Like,
for a mom who didn't want any of it, and he just recently signed over his royalty, or is that what you call it? Royalties, like the owner of like his LLC. Yeah, his parents are not owners of it. We're going to talk about the dad in a second. I have something to show you guys. I think someone helped and bailed out. Maybe took money and ran. Maybe Neo question mark the bodyguard Marty Marky that we saw. Because where is Marky? He's been awfully quiet, huh? He followed the law and showed up to the grand jury.
100,000 plays on 2 different songs. So it was like, okay, maybe something's happening here. So I get a couple more emails. I'm going on Zoom calls. My parents are getting involved. My mom has like this huge journal called David Music that she's writing down everything that these people are saying on the Zoom calls. And then we finally fly to LA, and then I meet the team, all these teams. And then, you know, we go through the whole rigmarole of meeting with labels and stuff like that. And then I meet with Interscope, who I eventually signed with, and I meet on my team Mogul Vision for management that I signed on management. And then at that point, it was just time to push the button. With the music video, though, this happened.
And if he was Celeste, 2022, you guys, that's 4 freaking years ago, right? Yeah. Simple math, not on a Sunday. Interscope, I'm wondering if she was ever in a studio or at some of those events, and or can his family or her family go civil with all of that information? Because she was at his concerts and stuff. They knew. I wholeheartedly believe everyone knew she was young or a child.
In the middle of the signing process. So I was like meeting labels, and I had to kind of figure out how to do creative. At the same time, I'm trying to be business person, David. So I'm trying to be super creative and think of ideas for the song on TikTok and how to make a music video for this whole thing. At the same time, I'm trying to be like real big briefcase, opening the meetings and telling people what I want for my career and stuff like that. And I didn't even know what I wanted for my career. I just wanted to be cool, make music, and play Fortnite, bro. So
I think he changed so much from that other interview too, because the industry, that's a whole nother conversation. But we know the Diddy's of the world, the Britney Spearses of the world, how they get groomed and abused, the Cassies of the world, the Amanda Bynes of the world. Did he blur the lines of reality to create his own music? Was he so twisted in his mind he had to live out these dark thoughts? Yeah, I think. Even someone said, are you still dating that minor? It was no secret. That was the manager. That clip we played with that. Yes. He's very dark. And I don't think it was just a random thing. I think his darkness started as a child. I think that he had behavior, and this is just an assumption. I'm just guessing. I don't know what the psychologists of the YouTube say. We are going to review a video about like an analysis. But I think that he was dark from like maybe when he started watching that anime, like 5-6 years old. Yeah, MDP Psycho Detective. Yes, we did talk about MDP Psycho. It's very, very brutal. Very brutal.
The music video is happening. It's time to start talking about that. I had been a fan of this channel called Overcast for a really long time. I had watched their music videos. They do a lot of things with like underground artists and upcoming artists. I really had a liking to their videos. And 𝗏𝗏𝗵𝗀𝗲𝗵𝗶, who is the leader of Overcast, he was like, all right, bet, I'll direct your music video, bro. So I pull up to Arizona with my whole family, and we're talking about like the treatment and stuff like that. And I had the idea to kind of make this first music video introduce a character that I had been kind of ideating for a really long time. That's why you see him with the blindfold and the bloody shirt aesthetic and the bow tie. I'm really big into anime, and I'm really big into manga. And I wanted to make my own manga series at one point, and I was writing a lot of poems and writing a lot of things for it. And a big part of that manga was an evil version of me named Itami, which means pain in Japanese.
What a fraud. Can the owners of the manga MDPD go after him for this? They should. Why is he trying to take credit for Itami? We're going to review something with Itami in a second.
And he wears his blindfold, and he's basically an agent of chaos and kind of my alter ego. And the story of the manga went like I was a detective, and there was an evil version of myself that would kind of come out at random moments, kind of like Fight Club with Tyler Durden. And he would commit the crimes that I would have to solve as the detective. So like when I was as the detective, I'd be like solving murders that I'm committing myself. And it was like a cool little story. I didn't think anything would come of it. Like it was in the vault for like months and months and months. And I introduced it for the first time on screen because I had the opportunity with music to kind of explore this idea further with the Romantic Homicide music video. And people were asking so many questions. I was like, yo, this is kind of fire, because like nobody would have ever heard of it if it wasn't for this music video. But Itami was the staple of this music video. You kind of see him throughout the entire thing. He's holding the knife with the bloody thing. You get the girl who's basically like the ghost of the person that he killed. Was his first victim.
The ghost of the person that he killed. I know there was another channel that was saying, I think it was Strategic, that was saying that, you know, the anime became his passion. I think he was dark way before the manga and the MDP Psycho, and he's literally stealing their concept.
Person that he killed was his first victim in the manga. And I put that all on screen, and me and Tommy had a great time just like chopping it up and getting to kind of merge creative ideas on the entire thing. And the Bloody Rose aesthetic was birthed in that music video as well, and kind of me representing my entire artistry through this rose, which is like beautiful things can hurt you, with the stems having thorns on them. And that became my entire aesthetic for like the rest of time.
So we saw the thorn video that I played earlier with the bloody hands. Let's go watch. I've already shown this on the first, I think, live that we did about Itami. But remember some of the episodes, I wanted to go through them really quick to show you guys the theme of the episodes. So episode 1, a sadistic criminal is turning his victim into human flower pots. Detective Amaya Kazuko is called out of early retirement to work on the case, which is tied to horrific events in his past. His new wife goes missing, and a mysterious cult with barcodes tattooed on their eyeball surfaces to wreak havoc on the city. Episode number 2, how to create a world. A brutal serial killer cuts babies from their mother's womb in what appears to be a copycat crime from 5 years earlier. All of the women have barcodes tattooed on their eyes. That reminds me very much of Hitler. The barcode thing. And look at how brutal this anime is. He cuts babies from a mother's womb. What about the Uber that picked her up? Yep. The Uber driver may testify. I think so. I think so. He will likely get the DP. Yeah, I hope so, hoodies. I hope so. We're currently fighting legislation that would include LWAT for early parole. California is a mess right now with early release. You're not wrong about that. Absolutely. But yeah, this is what the MPD Psycho is about. The victims are under some sort of hypnosis, purchase the surgical quality knives used to kill them the day before the murmurs. As Detective Amaya's wife wanders the city in a trance, he discovers someone from his past is involved in the crime wave. Episode 3, Detective Amaimima and the police team are investigating the mass suicide of 40 girls from a posh high school. Amaimima goes undercover as a high school teacher to find out why and learn more about a new generation of barcoders, many whom are students at this militaristic high school. Episode 4, The Crushed Ant. Perfectly severed body parts with numbers cut into them are discovered in a field. You guys, I wanted to show you this because this freaked me out, because I'm like, wait, severed body parts in a field? Santa Barbara, question mark, on May 8th, the 31st, the night of, question mark. Are her fingers somewhere out there with the weapons? Did the car get moved the last time right before the tour bus, Celeste? Yeah, we need to go through that timeline. We will. And then it's our fault. Every person allows actions to be committed. Not really, but every now and then they are mangas. Oh, you guys are talking about the manga. Yeah, I don't know much about it. I'm not like a professional in anime, clearly. What if he ate the fingers? Then I think that was for like a satanic kind of type of thing. In a nearby arcade, two rival youth gangs battle each other, and Maimima's wife is taken prisoner by a gang leader. Cult members, the next episode, spontaneously combust when the barcoder network is infected. The burn victims are taken to the local hospital where a lonely employee's cyber girlfriend tells him to kill people. This is MDP Psycho, where he took the idea of Itami. So that was just a little information on the episodes of MDP Psycho. I've never actually watched it, but shit, I might now, just to get into it. Okay, let's review. Let's go to the X. Let's go to the X. Because this I thought was interesting. Look at this post from David's page. DK, he posted at 1:25 p.m. April 30th, 2025, 7 days after he stabbed Celeste to death, 5 days before he dismembered her. He posted DK on his X timeline with nothing else, as Celeste was DKing in his home. Whether it was a garage, whether he had her in the bath. I thought that was very, very, I was like, what? Yeah. Was this a confession, you sick mother effer? Someone says on September 17th, 2025. Piece of shit lived his life like if he didn't do nothing. Shake my head. Death penalty on this piece of shit is the only option. Oh, so that person's very angry. Yo, this is people like back then. Someone on April 30th said, stop with these cryptic ass messages. You is not Cardi, big bro. Nah, saying this a week after you killed somebody is insane work. You make a good fleshlight in prison, you chomo. Oh, you guys, that's September 18th, 2025. So after Celeste was already found in the trunk, people went back to this post. Look at people on April 30th. What does this mean? What? Help? Bro. Someone says, bro, just chatting for fun now. Someone recently said he had already took her life during this time of the tweet and she would have for sure been decaying. He literally put DK DECAY, like decaying body. Knox says, I think she still may have been in a fridge or freezer. According to Dexter, where the hell is the blood? Pause on the Dexter thought. You guys know that's my favorite show. Where's the blood? He couldn't have drained her blood that night. Where's the blood? Where's the blood? And where are the fingers? It's so disturbing, you guys. It really is. It really is. Okay, another one I wanted to show you. Oh, this post I wanted to show you just because I thought it was interesting. D4vd talking about being homeschooled for 4 years and not having any friends or social interactions and just being online all day is a part of the problem. Also, his parents turning him to over obsess about gore in music with bad language because he noticed that's when he got, and it got cut off. Got attention from them is weird too. All he needed probably was friends his own age and not to be isolated in his room playing on the computer watching weird shit because he was bored. I'm deep into this cult live that we're going to be covering, and it's so scary, you guys. Like, the stuff online that are around kids. The missing eye bothers me. A lot of people were saying it was like a ritualistic thing or something, but I think that eye could have been decomp or no. A group job, says Danny. I do, you guys. I do feel like somebody else at least had to be involved. The episode of the psychic that we're going to cover, maybe I might do it as a separate live either later today or tomorrow, but the psychic, and I know people are like, some psychic, some believe it's not real, whatever. But the fact is that she's point on, and she did the video like 3 weeks after Celeste. I believe it was after Celeste was it after she was found? I think it was. Missing left eye mimics the anime. I was just going to say, I believe it could have been decomp, but then the left eye does mimic the anime. And in some cults or rituals, you do eat the eyeball. So that was his way to confess the kid is sick. That's what I'm saying, is like screaming to be caught. Where's her blood in her fingers? The next post I saw. Okay, I want to cover this episode. I'm not a big fan of Mark Garagos, but I want to show a clip with him. Before we do, let's go look at SF Investigates because he did a really good post. SF says on May 1st, so 2 days ago, I can't stop thinking about the timeline of the murder of Celeste Rivas Hernandez as put forward in the pretrial brief. Could the 10:30 p.m. "Where are you?" text actually be real and not a staged alibi? Could Celeste have walked away from an argument upon arriving in the Uber? Ding, ding, ding. Who said that? Me. I said they were fighting already. She said, I'm here. He went downstairs. I met her in the garage. I think that's where it happened, but that's just my theory. But apparently SF thinks. I think that's when she walked away. I think she walked away and he got her from the back. Because remember, those are the back liver wounds that she had. Let's continue. Could Celeste have walked away after an argument upon arriving in the Uber? Maybe those texts from David asking where she was were real. And after he didn't receive a response, he went looking for her, found her, and they ended up driving to Santa Barbara together where that killing actually occurred. He could have shut her phone off when finding her. This part also, I think, is possible. I think he could have got her in the car and they went to Santa Barbara, and maybe he stabbed her and brought her back to the house. Because remember, he didn't have the pool yet and the chainsaws. He didn't have that until May 1st. He ordered it, right? It was May 1st, the document said? Yeah, May 1st, he started ordering his kill kit. I think the coroner will be able to tell if her eye was removed versus decay. Facts. Mark and Harvey are totally like on David's side and helping the defense, in my opinion. Yes, I don't like Mark or Harvey. You guys know how I feel about Harvey since we've been covering Epstein files and Harvey's in them. He refuses to address it like a little bee. In the Greek mythology, you have to put a coin on each eye to cross the river. There you go. Yeah, May 1st. So he was like, I'm going to dismember her. I'm going to buy a body bag and chainsaws. On May 1st, the defendant ordered 2 chainsaws. And then on May 5th, he ordered the body bag, the heavy-duty laundry bags, and a blue inflatable pool. She was dismembered on the 5th. So the same day he dismembered her, he bought that stuff on Amazon. But let's continue. This is a good theory on SF's part. He could have shut her phone off while finding her. One of the topics after this X discussion, where is her phones? Because she had the one her parents took away, right? And then she had the one David gave her. So Celeste possibly had 2 phones. In that scenario, her body could have remained along SR 154 for roughly 12 days until the pool, the body bag, laundry bags, and chainsaws were ordered. But it is also worth noting that the pool was ordered after her death, meaning it would not have contained blood from the actual killing. Correct. The blood from the actual killing is on his floor. That's, I think, when he stabbed her, or maybe brought her body back if he did drive her somewhere. And I think the blood on the floor is from her body being on the floor before the pool. He had to have drained her somewhere, or because they would have, right? The DA's version of events is very compressed timeline. Arrival at 10:20 p.m., a fatal stabbing, and then being composed enough to send an alibi text by 10:30 p.m. That is a 20-minute window. They also claim the trip to Santa Barbara that evening was to start disposing of evidence. However, the evidence had not been purchased yet, which was what I said. The pool chainsaw, I said that he could have been disposing of evidence. Maybe her fingers? The pool, the chains, but he hadn't dismembered her yet. What did he go out to Santa Barbara to do that night? The pool, chainsaw, shovel, and other items had not been ordered at the time of his first Santa Barbara trip, which is true. He ordered the chainsaw on May 1st, the rest of it on May 5th. He went back to Santa Barbara May 8th and May 31st, and the night he allegedly killed her. There's also the question of storing a body at his manager Josh Marshall's rental for 12 days while waiting for tools, with nearby neighbors and decomp orders likely becoming noticeable within a few days, all while David was out of town and having to trust that nobody would enter a house that wasn't even leased to him. None of this changes the central point that David is responsible. He killed Celeste, that I am certain of. Like I said, the DA is likely correct in their theory. They are working with all the evidence. His exercise mats, like her phone, maybe to clear his head, thinking maybe to cool down. Maybe he thought of, I was thinking maybe he thought of after he unalived her, maybe he was like, I'm going to go dump the body. And then he realized, oh my God, I'm going to have to dump it whole, which is easier to find, or it's too heavy for him or something. And then maybe he went back home, and then that's where we don't know what happened. And he waited 10 days to dismember her. Where did he go in Santa Barbara? We have a video we're going to look at. Is there an opportunity for selling to island people? I think they meant her purse and stuff, maybe her clothes, but she was wearing her tube top. So he had to have done something else in Santa Barbara that night. She had clothes on. She wasn't dismembered yet. The Amazon stuff wasn't in his hands that night. So what did he go to Santa Barbara to do? Was it to hide the body somewhere while he figured it out? Could be, actually. This next post, SF is talking about the traveling, because remember we were talking about how did she travel without her parents' permission. Minors such as Celeste cannot travel to London without consent. Here are the laws in the UK about minors traveling with an adult that is not their parent. US citizens do need an ETA/visa to travel to or through the UK. You'll need to show that your grandparent or guardian consents to your travel and accommodation arrangements. If you do have to apply for a standard visitor visa, you'll need to identify the adult traveling with you in your visa application. If the person you're traveling with is not your parent, you'll need to provide specific information about them in your application. You can identify up to 2 adults in your visa application. Their names will appear on your visa. The adult can apply for a visa at the same time, but you must each complete separate applications. I think he pulled some strings for sure, Jojo. As far as having clothes, you guys need to remember that she was back living at her parents' house when he asked her to go over and he killed her. So she might not even had stuff there. Correct. They were broken up at the time, Clover. Or fighting or something. She was back home. The smell. The neighbors were thinking it was a poor dog they buried in their yard. This case is so effed up. No, it happened here. She traveled to London. It happened here, Lintonero. So this is an interesting thing, and I want to know more of what the prosecutors have, or the DA, on how she traveled. But again, he was famous. He could have pulled some strings, et cetera, right? So there's that. I want to show you guys these lyrics, but I'm not going to play the song because I don't want to get in trouble. Hi, Corey. Good to see you, love. I believe he killed her. He hid the body. Then he ordered all that stuff, then dismembered her. Santa Monica is where he kept her. Then he ordered the stuff to dismember her. Did he keep her just in an isolated area, in the woods, in the forest, or at someone's house? Someone that he knew. I think we might have covered these already, but I wanted to go through them again. I'm just going to turn the music off. These are lyrics that I think, let's see what the post says. 3 different flows. Oh, he posted it himself on April 26th. So 3 days after he killed Celeste, he made these lyrics. Isn't that international child trafficking? His mother was a notary. Yeah, I know. That's why I'm like, we don't know. We don't know how she traveled. Like, what did her parents sign? Were they aware of it? Did they willingly do it? Did David forge everything and have his team pay people off, etc.? David disposed his cell phone in Japan in July of 2025 and got a new phone in May. Dismemberment in September, body discovery, and got a new cell phone. Oh, you were right about this, fool David. Let's read these lyrics. It says, I gotta make up my mind. I can't be wasting time. I might die. Where'd it go wrong with you? I don't belong with you. Oh, baby, don't trip on me. And baby, why can't you see? Whenever I'm about to leave, I swear, I mean it. Whenever it gets convenient, because you gonna make my heart stop beating. And I don't really want your love no more. I swear, because I don't need it. And I don't mean to be conceited, but I'm the reason you're still breathing. I stopped picking up your calls because you won't stop screaming. Is it love or lust? I can tell you're fiending. I don't want to hurt your feelings, but baby, just know my feelings are gone. It's been a while, but you've been on my mind now. It keeps me up at night. I cannot believe this life. I wish I never met you. I even second guessed you, but I was in too deep. I couldn't leave. I couldn't let you walk away from everything. I thought that you were everything. You told me I was special, girl, but that doesn't mean anything to me. It don't mean anything to me. It don't mean anything to me. And then it says in parentheses, you're special, David. Remember that voicemail we just listened to? She says that. She says, you're special. And I love you. Yeah, he sang about this kid. There's not really isolated areas in Santa Monica, though. I didn't think so either, but I figured I wouldn't speak on it since I wasn't not educated geographically on Santa Barbara, but I think it would be hard. We're glad you're here, Corey. PDFVD parents are more guilty than Celeste parents. Agreed. I do agree with that. I do. And also, now that 𝗠𝗲𝗹𝗆𝗆𝗆 says the screaming, well, she couldn't scream when she was dismembered because she was being dismembered. She was already dead. But when she got killed, I'm wondering. And I'm wondering if there was loud music going on while he did both of the crimes, the unaliving and the dismemberment. So here it says, I couldn't let you walk away from everything. I thought you were everything. You told me I was special, girl. Oh, I already read that. It don't mean anything to me. Okay, that's where the lyrics end. So this was a few days after, what did I say? The 26th. So 3 days after he stabbed Celeste, he wrote those lyrics. And then you have this post from April 24th. So the next day, remember, he went to Santa Barbara after allegedly killing her around between 10 p.m. and 10:30 p.m. Thank you, VK. Good to see you. She's awesome. Thank you. Melly was right about the David situation. Yeah, the pregnancy part, huh? I always did think she was pregnant, even before it all came out. I just had a hunch. I don't know. So this was on, I have a lot of other hunches, but I won't share because people are going to be like, conspiracies. He forged the document. All they needed was notarized letter with the parent's signature. And you know, children forge their parents' signatures all the time. Yeah, I used to be a professional. I used to be a professional in that. The voicemail. Yeah, I used to ditch school all the time. Yep, I did it. Maybe we'll save the hunches for a members only. I'm thinking of doing a David members only. So this picture right here is from April 24th. He says, my album out now. Let's effing go. Thank you all. Love you, love you. And then this picture of him, which I find very, very scary. Yeah, you would like him, Nunks. You would like him. That's how I wrote my notes. Yeah. Oh, dude, I was in so much trouble. I was such a rebel. That's why I can empathize with what's going on here. Because I was a rebel. I did run away from home like once. And then I was like, I have to go back. All my stuff. But with the Epstein files, someone mentioned Epstein. He called the school daily to see if I was there randomly. Oh, your dad. Yeah. Thank you, Corey, for the super. Love you so very much. Thank you. Much love back to you. So this picture, yeah, not cute. What's the darkness hiding under these glasses? Because you just stabbed Celeste like 10 hours earlier. So I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed with that picture, but I'm saving it because it was the day after. So let's move on to the next post. Okay, this is from 𝗍𝗍. He says he drove the route where I think his stuff got found, or her passport was found. He says, let's watch this. It's short. One may wonder how D4vd could be so dumb to leave his cell phone on all 3 times he came into Santa Barbara. The same road Celeste's passport was found. Maybe he didn't bring the phone, but didn't think about the license plate reader. I guess there's a lot of those in Santa Barbara.
Both directions.
So this is where her passport was allegedly found.
State Road 154, Santa Barbara. License plate reader. Both directions. You're done, son. State Road.
So he just like flung it out of the car or what? Because like I think people would see him on the side of the road, or no? I don't know. Even if he did not have his cell phone, the car still has GPS. I forget. Mark the Shark drove the route last night. It was so scary. Yeah, I saw a little bit of that. I just didn't know him and his content like playing it. So I just got it from 𝗍𝗍.
State Road 154, Santa Barbara. License plate reader. Both.
There's a license plate reader there. Did David really not think this through, huh? He didn't. He forgot about the license plate reader. Melly, I'm 57 years old and I was that kid. This is why I empathize with the situation. Yeah, exactly. I think there's a lot of reasons why some of us are hooked on this case, right? Whether it involves trauma, childhood abuse, mental health, dating someone younger, cultures are different when dating older people and not. I know that in the Hispanic culture, sometimes they enable dating older men. So it's not something that, you know, I was ever behind, or my family, but at least back in the day. So we do try to be mindful, but your kid's been missing and run away on and off for 2 years. You might not have the resources, but like, hello? It's like so weird. Some things he really thought through, and then other things. That's why I'm saying, Knox, was someone else involved? What is going on? Because he seemed like leaving the body in the trunk. No shit, someone was going to find that. You know? It's for me, it's because I followed all his music. Oh, I never knew who I didn't listen to his music like that.
State Road 154, Santa Barbara. License plate reader. Both directions. You're done, son.
He says, you're done, son. So this is the route he took. But that at night, can you imagine? Creepy. Okay, this next post. A shocking video before being arrested for the murder of 14-year-old Celeste. He admitted to the murder, which led to the police arresting him. I can't run from the truth anymore. I hope one day God forgives me. She tried to ruin my career. I don't know if that's true in this post, but let's watch it. Hey, excited. Good to see you, love. I hope you're having a good weekend. I know you're ahead in the future. A good Monday.
I do, I try when there's no, I gotta say, say what I gotta.
I'm going to start from the beginning.
Say what I gotta say, get out of there. You know what I'm saying? So I hit the, why do you lie when there's no point in lying? You feel what I'm saying? Because the last context that we have in the lyrics is, I call you and you say you're busy, but you never had time for me. You never not had time for lyrical context. So I'm like, if she's lying, then I gotta say that in the chorus. Why do you lie when there's no point in lying? And then second line, why do I try when there's no point in trying? It's the most simplest hook ever. But it hits so hard because the subject matter is very potent. You don't gotta have a million lyrics in a song to make a good song. Your lyrics just gotta mean something. You just gotta mean something. So basically, I had the post-chorus now. How do I tie everything together from the first verse to the chorus to the post-chorus? Why do you lie? Why do I try? Tie it all in. You love me at my best. Say what I gotta say. Get out.
I get like manic. When is this from? Oh, this was from recent. She posted it recent. I don't know when that video was exactly from though. I get like manic behavior. He's such a, yeah, he is. He's so lame. I'm sorry. I'm just not impressed with him at all. Even before Celeste, I wouldn't be impressed. I don't think, no judgment, but why did he post this too? I'm going to show you guys. I just say random shit to show you guys. Wait, I'm in Love might be saved. He says on August 26th. She was found on September 8th. Wait, I'm in Love. Could be the name of a song, but how you fallen in love after you stabbed and dismembered your child's girlfriend? Remember I said I thought her body, I always had a hunch her body was at some point in his shower. It's because I saw this video. I'm going to turn off the song in the background. What is this? Like, can anyone guess a feature on this month's song? Why is he crying in the shower? I'm very confused. It's creepy. And he's wearing Hello Kitty, which we know that's Celeste's thing. Celeste loved Hello Kitty. Ooh, I'm okay. We have a public holiday day. I'm going to go dancing. For reals? Wow. That sounds like fun. I haven't done that in a long time. He's morbid AF. The shower thing. And remember the friend, the video, the last live we did, the friend, it says it's stinky in here. And then I think, like, why is he crying in the shower? I thought maybe he had her body in the shower for some period of time, but I might just be too deep into it. Is he wearing his mom's hairnet? He needs to get out of the shower. He reminds me of my schizophrenic stepfather, says Danny. Do you guys see though what oh, you guys probably didn't notice, right? You're like, why are we watching this? Look right here. Whose hand is this in the background? Has tattoos. It has Celeste looking like hair, but we don't know. So I guess we won't assume on that part. Crying in the shower, making songs in the closet. Jason the Ween. I'm not into any of these people, but these are people that knew David. Jason the Ween is like a streamer on Twitch or something too, but he knows David and Neo. And in this 2-minute clip, Jason the Ween talks about Neo being a creep. Let's watch. It's interesting. He talks about Neo hitting on his drunk girlfriend or something.
Bro, this dude's weird because I had this off-stream interaction with him and he thought like I was trying to press him. Oh my God, this is another story I just never told. Fuck it, I'm gonna just say it. Okay, so that night I went to 𝗠𝗲𝗹𝗆𝗆's birthday party. Okay, obviously he was there. All right, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Sakura was drunk, and then
Sakura was the girl in the video where, oh, it's stinky. Remember, that's her. So she was drunk this night.
I was weak. Ah, fuck. Nah, he was low-key like following her on some shit, and then and Sakura was drunk, and I was like trying to move around, talk to mad people. I was with Cutie and Hassan, and even
yes, Hella. He said he was innocent and then backpedaled. That pissed me off. I don't even know who the guy is, but the Ween. Yeah, I'm glad you're going out dancing too, Hella. This true crime world can be very dark. But yeah, this Jason guy was like, he's innocent, and then he's like, no, he's not.
in Ludwig, I think that night. I mean, no, Ludwig was not there, but like Valkyrie was there. I was just talking to everybody. I was just Sakura was just having fun and shit. And then I would come back, and Nia would like try to like, I don't know, I guess he was like following Sakura. It's all alleged. Oh, apple juice. Nah. Yeah, apple juice. She was not. Yo, she was on the apple juice. She was on the.
She was on the apple juice. I'm sorry. Maybe it's the time I grew up in, but what does that mean? Let me look that up. What is apple juice? Just drank? Or is it like, you know, the pink stuff that Diddy was giving away too? Is that like code for something? Maybe Celeste, they were giving Celeste apple juice too, perhaps?
Apple juice. She wasn't actually drunk. She was on apple juice. This is all alleged and there's a fake story. But yeah. He was following her, and then I went up to him very nicely. I was like, yo, not gonna lie, like, this is my girl, right? I appreciate it if you just like backed off. Like, I didn't say those words. No, I definitely said something like that. And I was like, yo, can you chill, bro? Like, this is my girl. Like, you better relax. And then
so Nia was trying to get at Sakura, the drunk girl. Thank you, Clover, for becoming a member. I appreciate you. Thank you. And yeah, somebody said, why is Neo smiling in that mugshot? Neo thought it was picture day or something. Like,
yeah, the night after, he like texted Sakura a long ass paragraph saying like, yo, Jason man moving mad weird. Jason's this, Jason's that. All I said was like, yo, you gotta chill out. Like, you're following Sakura, like trying to be touchy on Sakura and shit while she's drunk and shit. Like, and he's trying to pick me as this guy, a bad person to Sakura. Yo, it was so weird, bro. He was so weird. He was so weird, bro.
If that's true, props to Jason the Ween. Neo's particularly stupid. I can't stand Neo. I don't even know who he is or anything like that, what he does, but I don't like him. Okay, maybe because of the whole David situation, but him not wanting to show up for the grand jury and stuff. Ooh, I get it. He's a lawyer and he was just a friend, but no, I think he knew a lot more than he says he did. Okay. This post, picture day. He's like, it's picture day. Seriously, in that picture, he's like in the mugshot. I'm like, dude. Okay. This was from May 10th. So he met January 22 is when he met Celeste. May 10th, 2022. He says, when I was writing this, I got a notie from you as you were talking about wanting to be with your mom and your sister again. Quote unquote, take me where I belong, but our circumstances won't allow us to be in our ideal situations. We got to push through it, bro. Heart. This is about Celeste. He had just met her 5 months earlier. Daughter said apple juice is whiskey. Oh, thank you, Valkyrie. Oh. Okay, they're creeps for having code words for that. When I was writing this, I got a notie from you as you were talking about wanting to be with your mom and your sister again. Our circumstances won't allow us to be in our ideal situations. Because she was 11 years old. You should, Hella. You should. And the stupidity of Friends of David. There's a lot. Yes, please remember to hit the like button. So this, I thought, like, I know it's an older post, but again, he had just met Celeste. I know. It was just weird. That post like creeped me out for sure. Okay, let's see. What else did I have? Oh, this kind of bugged me. I think I just wanted to talk a little bit shit on this. It says, in their mindset, David's music shouldn't be used against them because it's just art. Plenty of artists write songs about murder and gang violence. There's no guaranteed proof that David was the one who placed her in the trunk. So we can agree. Okay. Yeah, Hella. I'm down. Let's do it. I would love that. Okay, it goes back to the beginning of the stream when I said, all right, he gets his day in court. We don't know what's going to be considered evidence, what they're going to throw out. Of course, that whole process. This is true. There's no guarantee that David was the one who placed her in the trunk. All right, I'm open-minded, I guess. Sounds like they have proof. So with that 9-page document, the evidence brief, I think the Tesla cameras are providing a lot of proof. We just don't know it yet. And that's dumb. And for the people, I saw people on X and Reddit too saying that, like, oh, Celeste could have just stopped talking to him. No, Celeste is a minor. We're not going to trash her. She was a child, not even a minor, child. Somebody said, let me share this post with you guys real quick. This is Celeste Rivas Hernandez Twitter. Joined September of 2022. Celeste's email. I don't know if that really is her page, but the internet sleuths found it. Okay, so I think that's all for the X post. But the argument is not based on who put her in the truck, but who took her life. Exactly. We can't argue he didn't do it just randomly. Hey, if my Tesla, well, I don't have one. But if I did, I'm reporting it missing. If it's stolen. He can't argue he didn't do it. Yeah. Especially from such a young age, if being groomed. You guys, an 11-year-old. Sorry, I'm all for the presumption of innocence, but I think he's screwed. Thank you, Hella. Yeah, I know. I'm trying to be, I personally don't like him, so I've just been like on another, I've been deep into this too, so I'm like, but I took time over the last 2 days researching. I'm like, okay, yeah, people are right. Like, sure, he has to have his day in court. Innocent until proven guilty, I guess. But they know he was the one who stabbed her and he dismembered her, allegedly. So that's enough for me to have an opinion on that. Okay, let me see what else. Oh, I wanted to watch a little bit of this documentary that he did with his parents. I wonder if they'll strike me on this one, because I'll just edit it out if they do. Because his parents are in here and I wanted to play it. At least a little bit of what his parents say. I had never really heard them talk. So I thought this was interesting, little documentary he did. Why do I feel like this is ridiculous? An 11-year-old going on 18 is probably a very confusing time for most people. She was confused and he used her and groomed her, taking advantage of her situation. Yeah, I think I said it before. I think Celeste was lacking something in her home life, whether it was love, care, something healthy, right? But this whole closet thing and his parent, I thought he wasn't allowed to like listen to any of this music. It feels like you. So he has parents who are really strict. He can't listen to anything but Beethoven. But then he says in another interview that we're going to review that his dad got him into anime at the age of 6. They homeschooled him after 7th grade, but then they're allowing him to make dark music in the closet. So which is it? Were you the strict parent or not?
Reality. This is not a scam. This is a
Did he leave school when he started to become known? I don't know. Somebody said that that they thought he was expelled on the parents. Yeah, because I believe his parents, for sure, the whole family seems to be putting on a show. For sure knew she was, you're going in on this case. I don't know how you find this. Oh yeah, I have like 12 lives planned. I've been deep into this. Thank you, Ketchup. Good to see you. The whole family are controlled freaks. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with being like a little bit of a loner or not knowing who you are or experiencing dark places like in your life or whatever as a child or whatnot. But I think this contributed him to his love of death and gory anime and stuff. What I mean by that is I think it did influence him to become this dark person. He started getting in trouble, so his parents pulled him out of school. I have heard that, but somebody I saw, maybe we'll read the post right now, says that he could have been expelled too.
Music I'm making has a lot of pianos in it. It's a lot of do right now, and like gospel and classical as a whole. Just like I love pianos.
So he was only allowed to listen to like gospel and classical music in his home. Why would his mom then be like, go in your closet and make songs about death? Interesting, right? She all of a sudden changed her mind. Okay, Colleen.
And like gospel and classical as a whole. Just like I love pianos. A lot of the new music I'm making has a lot of pianos in it. It's a lot of.
Oh, this is him at a concert. Oh, he holds that microphone very distinctively. Hey, 𝗲𝗺. What issues was David having? 𝗲𝗺. Yes. That is a mother that said she stands behind her baby. No matter what, okay? Do you hear me? She said it herself. I've seen a lot of cartel videos. I was in homeschool dungeon. Never had any. Dude's a sicko. The only people I fear bad when it comes to is his brother and his sister, since they really looked up to him. I don't think she cared what PDF did online. Hey, Jordan, good to see you. It's scary. I'm dropping a live, I think probably tomorrow, on a cult that people say he was involved with. I've gone off the deep end. Save me. Okay, let's go through these Reddit posts real quick. Save me. I'm deep in this rabbit hole. How old is his sister? I think... Let me look that up. She must be like 13, right? Maybe 14? Oh, about Celeste's age, maybe. How old is D4vd's sister? Suggested she was born as of August 2023. She was 6 years old. No way. She's older than that. She was going to concerts and stuff. So she could be like in her teens right now. So the same age as Celeste. Around the same age. Hi, Green Eyed. This guy ruined his life. This is so weird. I know. It's like, why would he leave the body in the frunk? And why would he decide to do all of this and not just take the pedo charges? Instead, he decides to dismember her and kill her. The punishment is way less harsh than if he would have just taken a PDF file charge. Okay, let's go back to these posts I wanted to show you guys. I'll skip the ones we've already covered. I've seen the comments that David was expelled from school. Was he expelled from the district before being homeschooled? Good question. We were all wondering the same. Why you think the decision and mindset, possibly David or his acquaintance, to abandon the car in the city where it would later be impounded instead of disposing and ridding it somewhere even further? We've already kind of went through that question as well. Why would he do that? He probably thought he was getting away with it. I think he thought maybe like in between tour breaks, he would come move it again, but I don't know. Steve Fisher is actually investigating possible crime scene dumping site locations. So here's a picture of it. We saw the video earlier, but these are pictures where they found her passport. It's very actually like, okay, like now that I see these pictures, I'm like, oh yeah. Could he have dismembered her out here at some point? Maybe. We don't know. What does the 4 stand for in his name? Well, my opinion on that is it's a cult thing, but I don't know what it actually stands for. Exactly, Evie. How would you feel if the same was done to your little sister? Good question. Why do these pictures remind me of 𝗏𝗍 Soto? You know, where he, stupid pig, dumped her precious body like underneath the brush and stuff and like covered her up. What the hell was he doing out there all night? And then go back here on the 8th and the 31st. Creepy. She was missing since March of 2024, according to posters, but I guess she came back by September when David and her broke up the last time, right? Then after her murder, she was considered missing again since April 2025 till September of 2025. Moreover, there was some people claiming that the lost contact from her, according to her friends, was August 2025, right? If the murder is April 23rd and her phone is missing, could it be that David didn't get rid of her phone immediately and pretended to be Celeste till he started his tour? That I hadn't thought about. Who's 𝗏𝗍 Soto? She's a precious girl who got unalived by her stepfather. Disgusting predator stepfather. And the fact that they were investigating him. Yup. The wiretapping. This is a good theory, you guys, because where was her cell phone? And that could maybe somewhat justify why maybe her family wasn't looking for her, because maybe David was pretending to be her. It stopped working completely. But she had 2, remember? Santa Barbara is even further up. Yeah. Steve Fisher says, I spent the day in Santa Barbara where Celeste's passport was found by... See this? Yeah, we just looked at these. That's where her passport was found. So her fingers could be out there buried somewhere. I don't know if you guys can see. Can I zoom in? Oh, yeah, I can. I didn't know I could on this one. Look at this picture with the bloody shirts. This was February 24th, 2023. I love LA. He's posing with whoever this girl is in their costume. And then look who's in the back circle. Celeste Rivas Hernandez. That looked like her to me. What do you guys think? Does that look like her? Interesting. Yeah, I think it's more since they don't use the elevator. Because he did not want to lose the money, and to him, the image is everything, but he is going to pay for this. I think his lawyer's going to drop him. Those shirts. I know. It's her. Yeah. I know. I know. This picture freaked me out. That's what I'm saying. And how do you even get into events like this when you're a child? Because you're famous. You're eating money. It's like, you know what I mean? He got away with it because of his celebrity. That looks to me like the Rivas, not the other Celeste for sure. Oh, I thought this was a good little thing. Take your little notebooks out. We're going to have an exam tomorrow. What happens to your body after you die? Brain activity surges, then it stops within seconds, minutes. Your cells begin, this is decomp thing. You're like, why are we doing science? Your cells begin dying due to lack of oxygen and then start to break down and leak. Hours. Calcium builds up the muscles, causing them to tense. The rigor mortis lasts roughly 36 hours. Eventually, your muscles relax, causing you to release any remaining feces or urine. Days. Gravity pulls your blood down, making light skin pale look pale with reddish splotches. You start to smell terrible because your decaying body releases chemicals like putrescine and cadaverine within days. Yeah. You turn green in spots because enzymes in your organs start digesting themselves, usually with the help of bacteria. Weeks. Bugs eat you. Maggots can digest 60% of a body within a week. And she was, remember, they said she was so badly decomposed and had insect activity that they couldn't even identify her. They had to do it through her braces and her oral. Wow. Your hair starts to fall out. Months. If your body is left at 50 degrees Fahrenheit, it will take about 4 months for your soft tissues to decompose until you're a skeleton. Yeah. I know, I thought that was interesting since we've been talking so much about okay, somebody said, oh my gosh, how funny. Someone just did a post on the video we just watched. The parents never saw any red flags, but his instructor did. Let me play this. It's just 47 seconds, but we just watched the whole interview. That is crazy. Thank you, Chucks. You're the best. You're the best. Seriously. Hi, Picasso Chad. My hair's falling out already. Stop it. You're funny. Danny, welcome to members. Jordan, OG, Summer Marie. Oh, I love it. I do love truly when people who are actually here get it. Thank you, Chucks. You're the best. Love and appreciate you. Welcome, new members. You do know that's why he killed her, because she was jealous and threatened to ruin his career. I just see that so differently. Like jealous, a kid. Okay, this is actually funny because we talked about this. She didn't even know he was homeschooled and he was able to see something was off, but the parents didn't. It goes back to what I've been saying. The parents knew all along. All along. Wait, they found skeleton? Well, pretty much. Oh, thank you, Chucks. Appreciate you. I know you always replay, though. I know I trust you. Oh, thank you, Mercedes. This is very, very much on point. Funny how we were just watching that clip. Okay, I wanted to share this with you guys too. There are 2 separate mentions in the 429 document about pregnancy. I kind of caught on to this, but I don't know if it was I didn't think of it like 2 separate instances. Numerous text messages between defendant and the victim evidencing their sexual relationship, pregnancy, abortion, and use of Plan B emergency contraception. Okay, that was when she was, 13 or 14. And then down here, it says in 2024, text messages exchanged between the victim and the defendant, etc. There are also explicit photographs. So 2 different time periods. Or maybe close enough. I believe that. He started grooming her and raping her before she even got her period. Could you imagine how fertile she was? And she was running away and seeing him. Hey, Jason, good to see you. There's definitely something wrong with him. I mean, it's just how science works, guys. Like, I'm just, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to be like nasty, but like, it's just how it works. There's definitely something wrong with him. That young, you should already be acting controlling or jealous. I think he did record it. I do. This is from SF. People are giving SF shit for this because they're like, oh, he's lying. He's blaming it on Neo, but he's standing by it. Now the prosecution has released a briefing for the preliminary hearing in the D4vd case. We are releasing the surveillance footage of the Tesla being moved on July 29th. The driver is lighter skinned with long hair, wearing a red jersey. Pre-puberty. That's horrific and makes me think dark, dark thoughts. It's disgusting. That's right. Yeah. He was grooming her and having sex with her before she even got her menstrual cycle. It's fucking nasty. But anyways, again, SF stands by his claim that the driver is lighter skinned. So I'm thinking, was it Neo? One of his friends? Question mark. Hey, Kay, good to see you. A child will go off with men to help advance the family, and it's done all the time, regardless of her age. Disgusting. I read testimony of Dominican women who said that is very common. I mean, it goes back to what I said earlier too. Yeah, I mean, culture. Yes, culturalistically, is that a word? I'm sure it is common, and even in being a Hispanic, like I said, like if I wanted to probably date someone older, my parents would question it because my parents were very strict and very like on my ass, like on my ass. Even if I was a rebel, like my dad would follow, like he would not let me out of his sight, basically. But and I hate to say it without sounding like gross, but like now we are in America and we're in 2026, therefore it's not very appropriate. You know? But I totally get what you mean. It's common to date older people. Yeah, being Hispanic, it's common to date older men, but not like this young. Culturally. Oh, thank you. Oh, no, I haven't. When she was 11, he started talking to her, correct? I guarantee he has more kids than we will ever know. I hate dude without ever meeting him. I know, Linto. Mexico is different. Yeah, not SoCal, Southern Hispanic, right? But I'm open to it. I know. Oh, I've shown you guys this. I know it does happen, and I know it's a culture thing and a geographical thing too. Remember, I showed you guys this picture with Celeste wearing this wig? He gooned to anime and watched gay porn. Okay, well, that's nice. Let's watch this.
Man, Jones, by the way, we live right now. Chat, W. David in the chat.
Celeste had this picture on. This wig on in a picture. Maybe in dyslexic. She had this wig on. That's disturbing.
Can I get you on a lie detector real quick? Really? Dead ass? Shit, I don't even know what to ask you though. I don't even know what to ask you though. Okay.
Let's see what we're doing.
You could just slip this shit right here, Paul.
How's it work?
All right, bet. Let's see. This your first day here?
First day here.
Yeah, and how deep is you into anime? Scale of 1 to 10.
Probably 9.5.
9.5. Okay.
What does it do if I lie?
It shocks you.
Oh, okay.
So don't lie. Okay. Have you ever gooned to any anime shit?
Yeah.
Remember, we learned what gooning was. So he's saying he gooned to anime. That's really gross. Why are you jerking it to anime? Sorry, that's what gooned means.
Yeah. Nah, this nigga, hold on.
It ain't shocking me. It ain't shocking me.
Hold on, is that joint even on?
It's on?
Hold on, Josh, is that joint on? Hold on. Oh, hold on. It's not on. Now it's
not even on.
So you goon to anime?
Yeah.
Like on a scale 1 to 10, how often do you do that?
Probably like more like 2023, like COVID vibes.
I didn't expect you to be so honest,
So 2023, like after having met Celeste already?
my nigga. Like, bro. Right, I've been fucking. It's going to tell you when, but I've been fucking with that shit. Baby. I've been fucking with that shit, bro. I've been listening. We listened to whole music on the stream. Your most recent album. Hold on. If it ain't shocking, you're not lying. He really.
I don't know if this was before or after Celeste took a picture in this wig, and it's really creepy.
Who know on anime, bro?
Who hasn't though?
I mean, he not lying. He not lying though. I'm not gonna hold, bro. He not lying, bro.
Yeah. Who hasn't?
You go to anime?
Next
That's
Neo.
question. Next question.
Really? Next question? Okay, he ready, bro. Okay. Would you? Okay. How close are you to your mama?
Very close.
Very close. Okay. $1 million. Would you slap your mama for $1 million?
Nah.
That's real right there.
I'm not slapping my mom for $1 million.
I wouldn't either.
What?
I believe him.
For $1 grand.
Oh, the lie detector said he's lying. Yeah, we covered the gooning the other night. Until I asked my son, he's an adult, and he explained to me. I remember that I said, "What is wrong with you young people?" But gooning to it is insane, and most anime is little girls. Wait, you guys, he was gooning it to anime girls, not even real like bodies and stuff. I guess, okay, now I'm not going to say that because it's going to lead to another discussion, but I may be inappropriate.
Come on now, I would never.
He telling the truth.
I would never, ever,
bro. Okay, one more question, bro. All right,
make it like a hard one.
A hard one? Chat, what's like a very, very hard question, bro? Chat's going so. Swipe over real quick for me. Let me see. Chat, David's reading y'all, bro. Like, is it less than 5 inches? What the? Oh, have you ever?
Look at Neo all up in it. Neo, you all up in his business. He would do it for free. I'm laughing.
You ever watch gay porn?
No.
Ew. There's nothing wrong with being gay, but did you guys hear that? The guy was like, "Do you ever watch gay porn?" Look at his face. I'm traumatized. Please do not send me your bill for trauma therapy, guys. Look how little he is. Listen. Ew.
Okay, one more question, bro. All right,
make it like a hard one.
A hard one? Chat, what's like a very, very hard question, bro? Chat's going so. Swipe over real quick for me. Let me see. Chat, David's reading y'all, bro. Like, is it less than 5 inches? What the? Oh, have you ever watched gay porn?
No.
Is that the sus?
I'm looking just trying to get shocked.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get shocked.
Were you lying? If he gets shocked, he lied.
I gotta know.
It shocked him. So he was lying. Great. That's great. Okay, moving on. I think we're going a little deep here in the rabbit hole. Apparently he liked gay porn. To each their own, but what's the thing with Celeste then? What is attracting to Celeste? That she's a child and maybe she's similar to the anime? That's the same do-rag. I also heard that he has her glasses on. This is a picture of Celeste, allegedly. At like an event. The lie detector just goes off randomly. I kind of believe it, you guys. I do. But here's a picture of possibly Celeste Rivas. I can't really tell, but it could be the other Celeste. But I wanted to show you guys that. I know. She's wearing the same do-rag. Oh, look. Look. Boom. You see his do-rag, or is that what they're called? Yeah. And the glasses. These are also the same glasses they're wearing in the graping stream. Oh, I coached you. And then look, the same do-rag. That is weird to be wearing stuff she wore too after the fact. It could be a different one. It could be a brand new one. The coincidence he is here? Nope. It's not a coincidence. I think they're trophies for him. Sick. Wow. I have no words for this. This case is one of the craziest. For sure. We did go over some lyrics earlier about Celeste running away, and this is a different song. And look, the lyrics are similar. Run away from home again. I'm carving these notes into bloody arms. Alone with my soul impaled. Lots of lyrics on running away from home. Yeah. Wild. Now looking back on it, we're like, oh, well, Celeste was already in the picture. So that kind of aligns with. I think it's disturbing that people are going to her gravesite. TMZ posted a clip. Let me show you guys. I don't know why this bothers me. Maybe I'm just being an ass, but it bothers me. I'm like, I get it. Okay, maybe at the memorial? Question mark. Like, why you have to go to her gravesite? There's a memorial outside of her home in her neighborhood or whatever, in the community. Like, go there. And I just feel like it's such an invasion of her space and her family's at their gravesite. Celeste Rivas commemorated with flowers at her gravesite. Ugh. That's someone on TikTok. Yo, I have gone to a memorial near her house. Do you have video of it? I don't know. No, I agree. Like, don't go to her resting place. Yeah, it's like the JLR video. Remember the JLR video with Vicky White and the Gabby Petito? I was like, oh, I just think it's maybe not the right time. I don't know. It's all in my head. You don't have to agree with me. This post is from April 24th. So the day after he stabbed her and unalived her, allegedly. Let growth be your mission. Let healing be your reward. Let freedom be your goal. David posted this on the 24th, the day after. Maybe he is gay and Celeste and his parents, so his parents would not question him because they were very religious, right? And in some religions, being gay is a sin. He posted this April 24th, 2025. Let growth be your mission. Let healing be your reward. Let freedom be your goal. Definitely not getting any of that, David. No freedom in your goals, honey. Oh, okay. I haven't done an Epstein live, but I have one ready to go. I'm just too deep into the rabbit hole with David. But remember the Epstein files? So I think this has already been out for a while too, but David's dad worked for, I don't want to say it wrong. Worked for a company that I think represented Epstein. Not that this has anything to do with it. I'm not connecting the two. I just thought it was an interesting thing. Yeah. So I'm looking for the yeah, it was worked for someone, the company who was involved with paying off Epstein victims, I think. Something like that. And this is his dad's thing. Oh, it was 𝗏𝗵𝗃𝗄𝗏 LLP. That's the company that I think had something to do with like Jeffrey Epstein estates and paying somebody off money. Oh, it was Jeffrey Epstein's estate law. Sorry, I'm reading my notes. Jeffrey Epstein estate law firm. David's dad, I guess, had something to do with it. I don't know, just something I thought was interesting. Of freaking course, I know, right? Do you think he spoke to his family about killing Celeste or no? Yes. Yes, but that's just my opinion only. I feel like he's like a Brian Laundrie type. I have pictures. Really, John? That's interesting. If you want to share. So yeah, I went down that rabbit hole, but honestly, I didn't think that his dad working for a firm who represented Epstein, it wasn't like Epstein himself. It was like one of Epstein's estates. There's a detail floating around that oh, here, let me show you guys what I'm reading. You're like, I can't see anything. I want to show you guys where I'm getting this from. The story gets more uncomfortable. There's a detail floating around that most mainstream coverage has ignored. Burke's father, Duwad, worked for 𝗏𝗵𝗃𝗄𝗏, a powerful law firm that has represented Jeffrey Epstein estate in separate matters. The fact alone does not prove influence in the case. It does not prove the charging delay was engineered. It does not prove anyone leaned on prosecutors, police, or the courts. At this stage, there's no public evidence trying the father's employment or that law firm. Oh, tying the father's employment or that law firm to the timing of Burke's arrest or charge. Yeah. Anyways, just thought that was interesting. I'm like, oh, okay. Doesn't mean anything, but it can definitely. We already read this about her parents denying they got paid. We have already seen this. I dropped a video of this anime. Definitely peep it. I wanted to look at this. This was the last picture of her scene. 3/18/2024. Interesting, because listen, the briefing document says they began a relationship in November of 2023 when the victim was just 13 years old and the defendant was 18. Detectives learned the victim had been reported missing to the Riverside County Sheriff's Department by her family in February and April of 2024. February and April, but not March. Why not that month? She was home. And then it says RCSD telephonically contacted the defendant on April 17th, 2024. I'm sorry, February 17th, 2024, after they identified her number. The defendant claimed he had last spoken to the victim February 13th or 14th of 2024. Despite being informed by law enforcement the victim was only 13, the defendant continued to pursue her. After the victim returned home in February of 2024, her parents took her cell phone away. So that's when he paid somebody off to give her a phone. So for the month of March, it looks like she was with David. The Epstein place is interesting if you take into consideration what DNC were speaking about on the deleted live. How much did the dad speak about his work or their involvement with Epstein's estate? Hoodies, I think it could have been a reason of why no one got arrested for a while and why his parents have been so quick to get an attorney or lawyer on, and you know, for them with this case. So it looks like March 2024, when she was reported missing, she was actually with David because they knew where she was February and April. So I thought that was an interesting, maybe because they thought she's just up the same old, and wouldn't be back. Could be true. They saw her in between. I don't want to like bash the family, but I've read a lot about their knowledge. Yeah, Mal, I've been trying not to bash them, but at the same time, I think all people should be held accountable that knew, but that in a perfect world, right? There's a video of Celeste and David playing Fortnite together. I haven't really listened, so let's listen together.
Good stuff, good stuff, good stuff, good stuff.
No, you didn't kill him.
Dead.
How am I not getting any of these?
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
That's Celeste in the background, allegedly.
Oh my god! 14 eliminated. I'm looking at this like
what the heck?
What the heck?
That does sound like her at the end. Whoa.
Good stuff, good stuff, good stuff, good stuff.
No, you didn't kill him.
Dead.
How am I not getting any of these?
Oh my god!
Oh my god! Oh my god! 14 eliminated. I'm looking at this like
what the heck?
What the heck?
That part, that sounds like her. Yeah. I know. It's absolutely insane. I have a few more posts. This one here is Sophia says to David in Discord, "Are you happily married or single?" David says, "Me and @deleted user," which is Celeste allegedly, "have a kid on the way." Then he says, this is on December 7th, 2024. That same day, he says, somebody says, David Jr. David responds with, "What should I name my kid, guys?" Which aligns with my theory that I said when they broke up in November. Could she have been pregnant? Could that have been a reason? And this is in December. Could that have been a reason for their breakup? Like, maybe she had just had an abortion and she was like, "I don't want to be with you." Or maybe she's realizing things. I mean, there's a lot, right? There's a lot that could have happened there. But this to me was like, wait, it aligns with, and the document says they broke up in November of 2024. And this is December 7th. Maybe she took the abortion pill and was like, "I can't do this. Like, there's something wrong here." And they broke up, but then they really didn't break up. So that post is very telling. And I wonder if all of this kind of stuff is what's in those 40 terabytes that the defense is going to show. This one is under the comments of his romantic homicide. What date is this? I can't see it, but someone left a comment on the Instagram post and says, yes, he is a pedo. He literally dated a 12-year-old. Insta deleted all the comments in his account calling him out. It's so crazy that so many people try to warn us. There's a ton of comments like that under his stuff. That must be why the death certificate was changed, because they have info on it. Yeah, beautifully broken. My kid. Exactly. Maybe she saw something on his phone like 𝗍𝗵 or something. I think so. I thought she found 𝗍𝗵 on his phone or him with a man. Honestly. Like some gay type stuff. Which is fine if he was gay. But like, I don't know. I want to play this this clip. It's really short from TMZ. David describes alleged overseas trip with Celeste days after alleged murder. It's a 1-minute clip. This was from TMZ. I had missed this for some reason.
I used to do a lot of different projects with different producers, and I went through maybe 5 or 6 different versions of this album. But the most recent version, the one that I'm very happy with, the one that we're going to put out, I made in a total of 4 weeks. So I went to London for 2 weeks with 3 of my friends, and we just made a song every day for 2 weeks in London. I love London because of like the gloomy aesthetic and the gloomy just like vibe and environment that London has. Like there's barely any
Remember, she went to London with him.
sun there, and I love that because the music I make is really sad. And then so 2 weeks I made a song every day, came out with half the album, and then I went back to Houston for another 2 weeks, and I made the rest of the project on my phone just off of beats that people sent me and with some things that I make. And yeah, I just spent 2 weeks in a different area trying to get myself in a different mindset, and then I came back to Houston, put myself in the same mindset again, and made everything by myself. So I wanted to see what I looked like, or how I worked with different people and how I worked with myself, you know.
David details alleged trips with Celeste in an interview recorded days after suspected murder. That's a wild one too. That one right there. Oh, this, okay, somebody in this post says they did find blood inside the garage. He used a blue kiddie pool, the same one found at the Texas farm. So there is an alleged, I guess, concept out there somewhere, or post, where I guess there was a pool found at his Texas house. Could have been a different one, but investigators served a search warrant at Burke's home in September where they allegedly discovered, okay, yeah, the blood in the garage. I hadn't heard of that, but they're saying that this person says the one found at the Texas farm. Yeah, we were talking about this earlier. Isn't it illegal for someone to travel with the underage kids? Yeah, you need like some kind of permission, which we talked about earlier. We think it could be like he paid someone off to get her. I think Asia and Neo are definitely involved. Maybe he paid someone to forge her parents' signature or something, you know? Asia and Neo. Neo definitely. Asia, yeah. I think they both knew something. This is a clip that Cree mentioned earlier. I know I played it on a different live, but the manager asked, "Are you still dating that minor?" And it seems as it was, or I don't know if it was the manager, but somebody named 𝗍𝗵 the next day on May 6, 2025. So someone asked him, "Are you still dating that minor?" Let's play that real quick. It's short.
We didn't mix it though. It was just like a random like we made.
Ugh.
That was wait, what? Like rock, kind of like alternative. Yeah, like what? wait, what? Let me see.
Yes, private jet. We have been saying that. Thank you, Chucks. You reminded me. A private jet could have been used. Absolutely.
Yo, hold on.
What the? What are you doing? With it? Hey, Jason. Wait, are you live right now? No, we're in the studio making music. Oh, what's up, good? Though? I'm live right now. Yo, Queso, bro. Yo, David, you want to pull up, bro? I was.
Bro,
telling
I've
you
been
that-
supposed to. I've been supposed to.
Yeah, I invited you.
Oh wait, were you calling him to invite him to the birthday?
Yeah, I was gonna.
That's a good guy.
That's all good. It's on Saturday.
Oh, this was after he dismembered
No,
her.
Friday.
Oh, lit.
Like, look how different he looks from that video.
Yeah. I bet.
It was nasty, right?
Nah, play some.
They wanna hear the. we gotta play a little bit for them.
Oh, play that. And the mic right.
Rough drive right now.
I can hear like the flow.
Hold on, pause it.
I bet, bro. What is that? Is that a vape?
No.
Yo, put that cancer stick down.
It's not. I swear.
Hey, nah. Let me see that.
I'm so disgusted. I don't know why. I'm so disgusted. I think he took his mother's notary stamp, or maybe she did it for him. Who knows? Maybe that's why she didn't want to have to testify.
Let me see that, bro. What is that?
What you talking about? What you talking about?
Nah, what's that, bro?
What you talking about? Nah, it's actually a detox stick. You feel what I'm saying?
That's a vape.
Nah, that's a detox stick. You can see it's a detox stick, bro.
All right, suck on it and see
what I'm
if
saying?
smoke comes out. Pause. It's a detox.
I'm gonna see you on Friday.
Yeah. Wait, where does he ask him about the minor? I thought he asked him in this clip.
Not mixed, right? Anyways, we made that, and then we made this. I put David in a studio
Is
session.
that techno?
No.
What's that? What type of genre?
That was just like
That was just hip
like rock, kind of like
alternative.
Yeah, like
What? wait, what? Let me see.
I didn't hear him say anything about a minor in that video, but I saw enough of what I need to see him close up. For sure. Oh, look at this. What's going on with him here? Like, it's when they are at dinner. Yeah, I know I know, Cree. I have it, but I didn't have it pulled up. He looks very scary here with his family. I don't know what it is, but he looks very scary. Bad energy in that photo, right? It's like, is that what it is? This is another post where people were like, November 26, 2023, he posted something. And someone says, don't talk to minors. Really doesn't seem that hard, though. Yeah. A lot of people knew. A lot of people knew. The name is crossed out. Don't know who posted that. Don't talk to minors really doesn't seem that hard, though. November 2023. So he would have already known Celeste for a year and a half. That's why I'm really wondering when they started investigating him. The family of Celeste is being held accountable for her demise, whereas the family of David is not being taken into account. Clarification should be made regarding that some family members knew and had a personal connection with David despite her acceptance by his family. They put a picture of the dad. His eyes, I know, they get dark. He was on the Colbert Show in New York after killing her. This was when the mom got caught buying a firearm after like it first got announced that he was involved. I don't know. I get a bad feeling of his parents. And that could just be my my feeling too. Look at this picture of Celeste. Something, no soul eyes. Exactly. He aged 10 years and 7 months. Yes, Ree. Looks like Murmur doesn't look so good on him, huh? That darkness was eating him alive. If I knew David before he unalived Celeste, I would have been everywhere. You would have not shut me down, right? She looks so young there too. Like, yeah, people knew she's not 18 or anything older. Look at this one with her cousin. She's so cute. Oh, I feel so bad for her. Her little hands in that pic. I know, Mel. Looks like he is possessed. We're going to have to talk about this when we review there's 2 videos about psychoanalysis that I want to stream with y'all. The mother of Celeste's ex-boyfriend left a comment under TikTok. Somebody said, when was this? Why doesn't it have a date? It says, she reached out to my son in May saying she missed him and she was sorry. Someone replied and said, are you saying last May 2025? Because the investigation is saying she was most likely gone in April. I wonder if that's true. There's a lot of stuff out there, I think, that David didn't. A lot of evidence. You know what I mean? This was creepy. I showed you guys this last time, but I'm going to show you again. August 19, 2025. He has a finger, one of his props, but I don't know. It's disturbing. Yeah, OJ, me too. Like, I see people talking about it. I would have spammed or at least called the police like every day. I don't know. Report it. He has a finger as a prop. And this was 8/19. And she was found the next month. Yeah. Crazy. Crazy. Okay, let me see what else I have for you guys for this David session. We're going to have quite a few. Oh, I want to play this for you guys one more time. When he talks about his mental health. This is eerie. I'm getting the feeling that he paid someone else to do it. Okay. Melly, I think this kid is going to state that he was sexually abused and this is why he was physically incompetent because his behavior is not normal. Could be. Let's watch this.
Where are we going? Into the forest. I remember the last time a YouTuber went to the forest. Hey, Logan Paul, hey, my boy. That surgery will probably give me mental problems. I already got him.
Somebody said they're probably going to give you mental problems, and he says, "I already got him."
Give me more.
Really? Like what kind?
I already got him. Give me more. I want mental problems. I already got him. Give me more.
Give you more? I would like to see your medical records, sir.
I'm trying to get electric for it. I think that's the best way to go out. Electric chair.
He thinks the best way to go out is the electric chair.
You said, where are we going? Into the forest. I remember the last time a YouTuber went to the forest. Hey, Logan Paul, hey, my boy. That surgery will probably give me mental problems. I already got him. Give me more. I already electric. I'm trying to get electric for it. I think that's the best way to go out. Electric chair.
I pray if you did this to this girl that, yeah, you get that, but we haven't found out yet. Okay. Last but not least, let's watch. Wow. I know. I'm glad you guys are like freak out with me because I'm like, what the hell? How have we been missing a lot of this? His kick is gore. Yeah. This will be the last clip we watch for today. But like I said, tomorrow we will do either tomorrow or later, but we will do, I have Laura Owens coming up, and then I want to do 2 interview reviews. One is like a psychology thing over David, and another one is a psychic. So I'm going to combine those for a live so we can review those. But let's watch this last piece. You guys know I love me some law and crime. I haven't watched this, so we're just going to watch a little bit.
That we didn't really get an opportunity to do, I think, in our prior episodes, is to really understand how strong is the evidence against David. Kind of gives us a preview of what a preliminary hearing will look like, now scheduled from later in the month. Again, that's where the prosecution will present sufficient evidence to have the case move forward towards.
Oh yeah, Green Eyed, I didn't even catch that. Notice he said the last time I was in the forest. Too many connecting the dots to island people on 2 days after as a reward. I believe people can become possessed. I do think this. Yeah. Law and crime. I do think it could have been something to do with like a cult or some kind of weird
trial. That's what they hope to do. They'll have a challenge from the defense, or even what we could expect from a trial. And when I talk about the evidence, maybe what's the most compelling evidence, right? Because we spent an episode really diving into the disturbing allegations that came out. But now I want to put my legal cap on for a minute. I want to talk about the allegations, the alleged evidence, how strong it may or may not be. So we're talking about 21-year-old David Anthony Burke, goes by David, months after 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez was found dead, mutilated, reportedly in David's
because law and crime
Tesla at a Hollywood tow yard. Prosecutors have charged him, the singer-songwriter, with first-degree murder, continuous sexual abuse of a child under 14, and unlawful mutilation of human remains. He's entered a not guilty plea. It is important to remember that he's innocent until proven guilty. But let's talk about the potential evidence here. I want to start with the murder charge that's also connected to the mutilation charge. In fact, all the charges are very, very connected to one another, and the theory is connected to one another. So we go to the brief that was filed by the prosecution in anticipation of the preliminary hearing. It was first set for this week. It's now been delayed. But it says, quote, tellingly, defendant subsequently purchased tools to carry out his plot to dismember and dispose of the victim's body. On April 24th, 2025, remember, they are saying that she was killed on April 23rd, 2025 at his house. On April 24th, 2025, defendant ordered a shovel from Home Depot that was delivered to his home from Postmates. On May 1st, 2025, defendant ordered and subsequently Amazon delivered 2 chainsaws to his home. On May 5th, 2025, defendant ordered and Amazon subsequently delivered a body bag, heavy-duty laundry bags, and a blue inflatable pool to his home. He made these purchases under the fake name Victoria Mendez. On May 8th.
I'm so stuck on the Victoria Mendez. Is that an ex he knew? A girl he knew? Was that Celeste alt name? Like, do you see what I'm saying?
8th, 2025, defendant returned to the same area in Santa Barbara County, leaving his home at around 11:30 p.m.
What I'm saying is, does Victoria Mendez really exist? Is what I'm saying.
He returned to the area again on May 31st, 2025. This is an isolated site off SR 154 where the victim's identification was subsequently discovered in January 2026. Additionally, on July 7th, 2025, defendant ordered and subsequently Amazon delivered a burn cage to his home under the same fake name as part of his plan to incinerate evidence.
Someone said that that's his parents' neighbor. What? I'm going to have to look into that. That would be insane.
Moreover, defendant took horrifying measures to destroy and discard the victim's body. After placing her body into the blue inflatable pool to prevent her blood from spilling onto his garage floor, defendant used a chainsaw and perhaps other tools to cut off her limbs. Small blue plastic fragments were found embedded in the victim's remains, which were collected by the Los Angeles County Medical Examiner's Department. The fragments were analyzed by the LAPD's Forensic Science Division Trace Analysis Unit. An expert was able to match a physical fit match from the blue fragments to the blue inflatable pool purchased by defendant in May 2025. In order to distance himself from the victim, he amputated her left ring and pinky fingers because her ring finger contained a tattoo of his name. Her fingers have not been recovered. Defendant then placed her head and torso into the cadaver bag he purchased. He placed her limbs into a garbage bag, which he deposited into his front trunk, laying the cadaver bag on top. For several weeks or possibly months, defendant left the victim's body to decompose inside his Tesla. Okay, of course, there will be a battle of experts and questions of how the evidence was collected, what does it mean, how it was maintained, but potentially making the blue fragments match is huge. If you match the pool to him, you match the pool to Celeste, that's going to be critical. The alleged purchase history, this digital trail, some of the most potentially damning evidence out there. We have seen historically that has been hard for defense attorneys to argue away or explain away. You know, I saw this idea that perhaps, you know, maybe these materials were purchased for some sort of music video. That could be a tough sell, particularly you talk about the timing, right? The timing of when authorities say Celeste was killed, unless there's going to be a dispute.
Look at this picture. You're telling me the manager, the party, the event planners, the producers, the workout partners, whatever people he hires, the drivers, the friends, nobody knew she was a kid?
Not only about cause of death by the defense, but also time of death. Why would you allegedly purchase those things? And if the order and delivery records confirm this, that's huge for the prosecution's case. I mean, the list of potential evidence in this brief says, quote, DNA evidence developed from blood stains collected from defendant's garage, which match the victim's genetic profile. Proof of defendant's Amazon purchases and deliveries to his residence, including 2 chainsaws, a body bag, an inflatable pool, heavy-duty laundry bags, and a burn cage after April 24th, 2025. Again, the records, maybe you even have the delivery person testify. Private investigator Steve Fisher, who's been on this case from the very beginning, shared photos of some of those alleged packages. You can see the deliveries are addressed to Victoria Mendez, or appear to be. It's unclear why David would use that particular name, but, quote, proof of defendant's purchase and delivery from Postmates of a shovel from Home Depot to his home on April 24th, 2025. It's not just one item, right? It's a collection of these very specific items that is, again, my opinion, not great for the defense. But again, we're still in the early stages of this. Uber records showing defendant's transaction where he ordered an Uber to pick up the victim from her Lake Elsinore home and transport her to his residence the night of April 23rd, 2025. And when LAPD served a search warrant at the home that David was renting or staying at after Celeste was identified, they reportedly found all sorts of evidence in the garage to support this claim, this argument of dismemberment, including biological evidence that tested positive for blood. They say they were able, again, to match the evidence to the victim's unique genetic profile. I mentioned that before. Talking about the pool again, this reportedly had multiple linear cuts. And on top of all that, according to the prosecution's brief.
So did he wrap her up in the pool? Thank you, Summer. We love you here. Like, or is it because he tried to dismember her while she was in the pool? I think I found that CBS clip, but I'll play it after this.
Surveillance video and other evidence confirmed defendant was the last person to drive the vehicle on July 29th, 2025, before he left Los Angeles on a concert tour. And remember, her body was discovered about a little over a month later. And the filing states that David lied to friends, business associates, and others about the strong smell of decay in and around the home and the car. So it could be very difficult for defense attorneys to say, you know, he was completely in the dark. He's being framed. He had no idea what was happening, what was going on. Although, is it possible someone else maybe had access to the car afterwards? Possibly, but does that negate his alleged knowledge of what was going on? So it goes to the idea of who may be a cooperating witness as well, right? What did they observe about the car? What did they smell? What did they ask David? So this all makes me wonder in terms of a defense. I wonder if defense attorneys...
Yeah, but even if he dismembered her and kept her in there to drain her, what did he do with all that water and blood? Dump it in the backyard? In the shower? Could maybe that have been the smell in the bathroom? Maybe blood and stuff, bodily fluids went down in the drain?
Get to the point and say, look, yeah, he bought all this stuff. Yep, we're going to acknowledge that. He purchased all this stuff after prosecutors claim she died, right? They might not say she was killed, that she died. So maybe they may make the argument he wasn't responsible for her death. Maybe she died in another way. And then in a panic, he was just part of the disposal, or he helped with the disposal. I don't know if they're going to say perhaps someone else is responsible for her death. I mean, I've seen cases like this before. Out in Florida, the James 𝗠𝗲𝗹𝗆𝗆 case, found not guilty of murdering his father, but guilty in connection with the dismemberment. Took the stand, told this really wild story, but the jury believed it. So in other words, will we ever really know what happened to Celeste or not? Because according to the autopsy report that was released, Celeste's official cause of death was multiple penetrating injuries. The manner of death was homicide, but perhaps defense attorneys will argue against that. Battle of the experts, say her body was...
Yeah, a lot of people think the fingers and then the blood could be like a ritualistic type thing. I don't know, you guys, but remember, the industry is into that kind of stuff. Epstein files.
Too decomposed to really know what happened, to really know how she died. And then we get to this. So investigators contend that April 23rd was when...
Oh, Mal, I didn't even think of that, Mal. Once a body is dead, the heart is no longer pumping. There wouldn't be huge pools of blood, some bodily fluids for sure. I believe he put her in the bathtub before he cut her up. I think so too. I've always thought that. The video where he's cleaning the shoes, I have that video. We've played it. I don't know when that video was. I don't think it had a date. But I'm curious if he was cleaning her shoes from them being bloody.
And Celeste was allegedly killed by David soon after arriving at the house in the Hollywood Hills. How do they know that? How do they establish that time frame? From the court filing by the prosecution, it says, quote, at approximately 8:40 p.m. on April 23rd, 2025, defendant sent an Uber to transport the victim from her Lake Elsinore home to his residence. Again, the digital records will be key here. You don't always have that in other cases. They communicated before and during her Uber ride, which dropped her off at defendant's Hollywood Hills home around 10:10 p.m. Okay, so again, the digital records, the text messages, the potential testimony of this drop.
I don't know that the police have said those were her shoes, but people have seen pictures of her in the shoes. That's why it smelled. That's my theory too. I believe he had her in the bath. That's why I think he was crying in the bath, but that's neither here nor there. They probably aren't connected, or they could be. Who knows?
At approximately 10:30 p.m., defendant sent text messages to the victim inquiring where she was. So it might be hard for the defense to say that message wasn't sent, the time frame. So you're looking at this 20 minutes, what happened? Prosecution says the people contend this was part of defendant's premeditated plan to cover up the murder, as she was already dead by this time. It's a good point, right? I mean, like, why would he text her or allegedly text her if she was at the house? I mean, is this house so big he didn't know where she was? I don't know. Or does it go to this narrative that, you know, he's trying to cover up the tracks and trying to say something happened to her? Quote, knowing he had to silence the victim before she ruined his music career, as she had threatened very soon after her arrival at his home, defendant stabbed the victim to death multiple times and stood by while she bled out. Now, I will tell you, I don't know what evidence they have to definitively establish what happened behind closed doors. This is their narrative. This is their theory. And by the way, I will get into a little bit more about the special circumstances allegations, that this is not just a murder, according to prosecutors, but a very specific kind of murder, the motive behind it. Quote, at no time did he call law enforcement or 911 or take her to an emergency room to attempt to save her life. And that's important because they'll say that this wasn't a case like, you know, they got into a fight, she attacked him, he panicked, you know, killed her as a result of self-defense, called 911. They're ruling that out. Quote, despite knowing she was dead and her family was trying to find her, the evidence will show defendant lied and claimed he didn't know where she was. In fact, defendant drove to Santa Barbara County immediately after the victim died, attempting to dispose of her property and destroy evidence. At approximately 11:30 p.m. on April 23rd, 2025, he drove away from his home as he texted and called the victim's phone, asking where she was. Again, these were acts calculated and planned to set up his defense within a very short timeline after the victim's vicious murder. Defendant drove his Tesla north on the 101 freeway to San Marcos Pass Road, SR 154, near Lake 𝗠𝗲𝗃𝗍𝗃 in Santa Barbara.
That's what I was thinking. You guys kind of agree. Him crying in the showers because everything happened there. The smell is absolutely horrid. Nothing compares to it. That's why I was thinking blood and DNA don't just go away. That's why I was thinking the bodily fluids, like it could have stayed in the drains.
County. Now I'm wondering if there are potentially cameras capturing this movement. He returned home early the following morning on April 24th, 2025, before going to a radio interview for the release of his album that week. He sent 2 additional texts to the victim's phone that day, which obviously went unanswered because she was already dead. I'm going to talk about interviews in a little bit, by the way. After April 26, 2025, defendant never attempted to contact her again. That's important. That's important. If the phone records establish he didn't text her or call her and he's completely innocent, that would be surprising, right? Somebody at the very least.
Yeah, like you all of a sudden left her alone. No, it's because you knew she was dead.
You know, that he knows, has a connection with. She disappears. He's not going to try to contact her. Again, this is the prosecution's narrative. We'll see what the defense says, but another piece of evidence. Quote, defendant's cellular activity and communications derived from defendant's iPhone and Tesla, which demonstrate defendant's activities from April 22nd, 2025 through April 24th, 2025, including a trip to Santa Barbara County in the middle of the night after the victim arrived at his Hollywood Hills home. Evidence, evidence. So that's the key here, that why prosecutors are going with lying in wait, silencing a witness, the special circumstances allegations to enhance the potential penalties for the murder charge, that David planned this, that it wasn't like they were arguing and something
lying in wait
happened, or she had an overdose and he panicked. They are making the argument that this was planned, this was premeditated, that he allegedly wanted her dead to keep her quiet about their alleged secret relationship, that she was a minor, prevent her from exposing this, ruining his career. Now things like the cell phone records, the rideshare records, the digital data will be crucial, which is why it's not surprising when 𝗝𝐶𝗵HR, the PI, says there are over 50 search warrants in this case. That's the kind of evidence in 2026 that tells so much of the story and can be very difficult for a defense attorney to refute. Placing time, location. Now, on the other hand, I don't believe authorities have the alleged murder weapon. I don't believe there's an eyewitness to this alleged attack. I don't believe there's surveillance footage showing this alleged attack as far as we know. So is that room for reasonable doubt? And one way prosecutors are going to tell this story and try to prove those special circumstances allegations surrounding the alleged murder will also be evidence of the alleged illegal sexual relationship, sexual relations with a minor, digital plus timing. What do I mean? From the evidence list, again in the brief, it says the description of photographs depicting the victim naked, as well as while she was engaged with defendant in sexual activity when she was 13. As this evidence constitutes child sexual abuse material, the photographs themselves will not be presented. While all possible charges that could be proven were not filed, the CSAM is proof of their ongoing sexual relationship while the victim was 13 and 14 years old. So if this material is on his devices, again, quote, numerous text messages between defendant and the victim evidencing their sexual relationship, pregnancy, abortion, and use of Plan B emergency contraception. Messages through March 2025 prove defendant continued to manipulate the victim as she messaged, all we do is have sex and just hang out. Man, I want more than that for myself. These messages were obtained from defendant's iCloud data. So again, the digital data could help prove the sex charge. And we reported this yesterday on Sidebar, but the death certificate has been updated. This is per reporting from TMZ to suggest that it is unknown if Celeste was pregnant, even though there was nothing in the actual autopsy report, as far as we could tell, to suggest that she was. So it is a little confusing here. I spoke to Joseph Scott Morgan on my News Nation show, 𝗝ecie Weber Live, last night. He said they may have to just do that because of the investigative findings of the messages about pregnancy and, you know, Plan B and abortion.
So it could be that they do know that she's pregnant, that she was. Even crying in the showers, theatrical. He lives in a dark fantasy. He was living out of those dark thoughts. I would love to know at what point he knew she would be his sacrifice. Good point, hoodies. I agree with you. Poor Celeste having to deal with all of these huge adult issues.
And because Celeste was dismembered and decomposed, it can ultimately be difficult to 100% rule out that she was pregnant. So it's not necessarily saying that she was, but how do we know for sure? It's unknown. Although I will say, if prosecutors believe for sure that Celeste was pregnant or had evidence to establish that she was pregnant, they would have mentioned that, right? That would have gone to motive. That would have gone to the special circumstances allegations.
Look at him right there. He suddenly looks even darker than in his videos. This is the real David right here.
Taking their narrative that David killed her to keep her quiet about the relationship being exposed, what's better proof of this alleged sexual relationship with a minor if they could show she was pregnant with his baby, right? They would have presented that. They didn't. So I don't know how much that's going to be a factor or not, but at the very least, digital evidence allegedly establishing the relationship and the narrative. Oh, and by the way, this came out yesterday.
Like, look at this pic of them. With the same glasses, the ones he wore in that Zach Singh interview.
Okay. I think this might be evidence because of what I just mentioned before. It wasn't made specifically about the prosecution's filings, but I do wonder if this is going to be part of the case because according to reporting from the New York Post, April 24th, so the day after he allegedly murdered Celeste, he does an interview on the Zach Sang show.
Yeah.
And he was reportedly very casual.
That's the one we watched where he's wearing the pink hoodie.
Smiling, making jokes, but allegedly said this, quote, like in the process of, getting outside my house and exploring the world and finding friends, losing friends, finding relationships, losing relationships. It's just everything has kind of been shaping and leading up to this project in such a domino effect way. And when it came to writing songs about failed relationships, he said, I'm always expecting it to happen. And then after, as soon as it happens, I'm writing about it. And the host asked, but you saying expecting it to end in a devastating, tragic, sad way so it can inspire art, but are you manifesting that in a certain way? David responded, I don't know. I hope I'm not. I really hope I'm not because it feels that way. So I hope I'm not involuntarily doing that, but it might be that way. And by the way, we may also get a glimpse of what else this trial will include. I say that because evidence from a prior investigation into David and Celeste may be a part of this trial because the filing from prosecutors claims that LAPD robbery homicide detectives determined Celeste and David met in January of 2022 when she was just 11 years old and allegedly began that sexual relationship with Celeste when she was just 13 and David was 18. And the court paperwork revealed that investigators have been looking into David for quite some time. The filing says detectives learned the victim had been reported missing to the Riverside County Sheriff's Department by her family who live in Lake Elsinore in February and April 2024. RCSD telephonically contacted defendant on February 17, 2024, after they identified a phone number in the victim's phone records that belonged to him. During the call, defendant claimed he had spoken to the victim last on February 13th or 14th, 2024, but stated he was unaware she was a minor or that she had been reported missing. RCSD advised him that Los Angeles Sheriff's Department deputies would be coming to his home. On that day, defendant was living at 804 North Doheny Place in West Hollywood.
So this is when I said she was missing February and April, but not March. Remember earlier?
RCSD requested that LASD conduct a welfare check at defendant's home. LASD deputies went to defendant's home that night at 8:15 p.m. and informed him the victim was a 13-year-old runaway. Defendant again claimed he was unaware she was a minor and he had only met the victim once in person in November of 2023. However, defendant showed deputies a yearbook photo of the victim he had on his cell phone. Although he claimed to be unaware of where the victim was at the time, she returned home 2 days later.
So he was unaware, right? We don't believe that. And then she returned home.
Despite being informed by law enforcement the victim was only 13, defendant continued to pursue her. After the victim returned home in February 2024, her parents took her cell phone away. Defendant drove to Lake Elsinore and paid a junior high school student in the victim's class $1,000 to give the victim a cell phone defendant purchased so they could stay in contact. Throughout 2024, the victim spent a significant amount of time with defendant, including summer weekends at his home in the Hollywood Hills and traveling with him to Las Vegas, London, and Texas to meet his family. And I mentioned timing. So when Celeste reportedly died, so two parts to this. Evidence of this alleged relationship which again goes into the sex crime charge, which goes into the special circumstances allegations.
And all the pictures we see of her, she looks so young.
But timing. When Celeste reportedly died, yes, David was at the height of his career. Per prosecutors, April 23rd, 2025 is the likely date of the victim's death and when all her cellular activity ceased. The night prior, April 22nd, 2025, defendant and the victim engaged in a lengthy argument described in detail in their text messages. The messages revealed the victim's jealousy over defendant's relationships with other women, as defendant led her to believe they had a future together. She became extremely upset and threatened to disclose damaging information about her relationship with defendant to end his career and destroy his life. We don't know those exact messages, but taking the prosecution's narrative, defendant's first studio album was due to be released on April 25, 2025. He had an emerging multi-million-dollar career already in progress. He also had multiple product endorsements, which were highly profitable. So yes, when Celeste died, there was the tour, sponsorships, interviews, album release. He allegedly had a party on April 24th, the day after Celeste reportedly died. So prosecutors will definitely try to establish how he was flying high and couldn't let anything jeopardize that she was going to come out, expose him, and killed her as a witness. We told you in an episode yesterday that after David was arrested, the video game Fortnite announced it was going to refund players who made David-related purchases in his game. His label ultimately dropped him. So I wonder if that's going to be the evidence that prosecutors will use to say, look what happened. This was what he was trying to avoid. Quote, proof of defendant's lucrative career as a singer and songwriter prior to April 23rd, 2025. Defendant had an album release party on the night of April 24th, 2025, before embarking on an international tour in late July 2025. Text message exchanges between defendant and the victim on April 22nd and April 23rd, 2025, where the victim threatened to expose defendant and destroy his career.
Expose defendant and destroy his career. I heard she did threaten to expose him because she caught him talking to other girls. I think she found something. It was after that email for sure, OG. Okay, that's the end of the long crime clip. I want to play 2 more short clips before I end the live. This one is of the chainsaw allegedly that he purchased. I haven't seen this clip. It's 1 minute, but we'll watch it. And then I want to show you guys the video of the shoes, him washing her shoes. And her wearing the shoes. But let me watch this. I want to see if I missed anything here. Oh.
Who orders a single, it's just like.
Oh, this is what it looked like. Holy cow. Hi, La Karma. Good to see you, love. He allegedly dismembered her with this. Whoa.
Who orders a single body bag on Amazon? So it's heartbreaking. I mean, in any case, but especially the 14-year-old.
Changes to the death certificate for Celeste Rivas Hernandez reveal another layer of heartbreak for her loved ones. The documents update her cause of death to homicide.
Look at her there. She's so cute as a little girl. Look at her. How sad. Oh.
Whether she was pregnant, it's been changed from its initial no to now unknown. It comes a day after documents from the prosecution allege David Burke bought 2 chainsaws, a body bag, and other tools to kill and dismember her body, attempting to keep her blood from spilling by using a blue plastic pool.
He was not smart about it.
Steve Fisher is a private investigator hired by the homeowner who was renting the house David was living in when Celeste's body was found. After the LAPD executed their search warrant, Fisher says he found a chainsaw and a burn cage in the home.
That is scary.
But not taken into evidence. David's whereabouts are well documented in the days leading up to and after Celeste was allegedly murdered.
He has her brought to the house, according to prosecutors, murders her that night. On the 24th, he is at a
record release party. Yeah, we know that. But that's a picture of the alleged chainsaw he could have bought on Amazon. Oh, that's nice, OG. They don't sell them on the UK Amazon. Interesting how they do here. He was in California until August 6th. He was set to be in Phoenix. His lawyers are right now trying to grab sticks because the brief summary is very clear and what the prosecution has on their hand. I don't know how they're going to defend him. let's watch the video of the shoes, and this will be the last clip for today as we have been live for about 4 hours. Shout out to all of you guys. Please make sure you hit the like button. I will possibly go live again today to cover Laura Owens, but I will definitely be covering all the other cases we've been covering tomorrow. It's a new week. So, okay, here's Celeste with the Jordans. This is her, so pay attention to the shoes. And then this is, he says, I clean people's shoes as a side hustle. You can't really see them here, but you can. He was cleaning Celeste shoes. Now, they maybe could have had the same pair, but I think what a coincidence. Why two saws? You don't need to except for another person. I know. I don't know when I would. Let me do some more research on this, and I'll bring it up tomorrow's live. But I need to see when this video of him cleaning shoes. If it was after her death, I absolutely think those are hers. Because why would he be cleaning her shoes like that? She's wearing them there. She has her phone and trolley gummies, it looks like, in her hand. On the bus. That looks like a bus, right? And here he's cleaning them. Thank you, Psycho. I love you. Thanks for being here. She's beautiful. She did not need to meet the devil. May she rest in peace. I know, Mercedes. School bus. Yeah, it looks like the school bus. Look at that for sure is a school bus. Lots of stuff. Lots of stuff. Anyways, we have gone down the rabbit hole again. We're not done. We're going to continue the David case tomorrow. If I am back live tonight, it'll be for an either After Dark or a Laura Owens. I'm thinking I'm going to schedule Laura Owens here shortly. I kind of want to resume on that. I've been deep into the David stuff. I do think someone else maybe agreed to be in on it, and he ordered 2 chainsaws, but that's when the time came to use the chainsaw. The other person dipped out. The rabbit hole goes deep. Oh, I'm deep. I'm deep. Have you gone through his? Yes. I have gone through it, hoodies, and I didn't see a lot, but he didn't have too many posts after that I thought were sus, but I'll look through them again tonight. And then tomorrow, like I said, we're going to I want to review 2 interviews. One that Claudia sent me that that was already on my radar about like the psychoanalysis of David, and then a psychic one. So I do want to review those with you guys tomorrow. They're each like an hour long, so I'll schedule that live. And shout out to you, all of you guys, for being here for 4 hours, a 4-hour live. I think he got 2 because the bone is hard and the blade will do. Yeah, beautifully broken. That's what I was thinking. But then again, that proves he was even more intent on what he was doing. You know, that's crazy. Please shout out to all the replay viewers as well. It does not go unnoticed. I will be clipping some of this and making videos out of it too, for those people who don't like to watch lives. We have Laura Owens. I have something new I'm talking about. We have Epstein. We have David and Kenzie that we're covering all week. I hope you come later. Yeah, I want to come back and cover Laura Owens. So I've been deep into that case as well. The crazy pregnancy fraud lady. Oh, he 100% planned. Yeah, he did. Anyways, shout out to all of you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Shout out to all the mods. Replay gang, thank you. Jody. Yes, we are still going to cover Jody. I promise you we will. Love you, Millie. Thanks, Green Eyed, for being here. Shout out to all the mods. Appreciate you. I will catch you on the next one. Justice for Celeste Rivas. That is what we are here for. I believe the second chainsaw was back up. Yeah, I believe it. Bailin Tonero. I will catch you guys on the next live. Please make sure you tap that like button on the way out. Later.